Welcome to the African Podcast, your go-to destination for infotainment, trending updates, and thought-provoking social commentary. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit that thumbs up button, and get ready to join the conversation.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the delay. The work took a while in the house. I thought it was gonna be fast, but I miscalculated. So we run extra 40 minutes. All right, please do me a favor, hit the like button, and let's get this conversation started. Now, let me quickly share the link to Sister Rose. Sister Rose is going to be my special guest on this one. And the rest of the real fam, they are also going to be part of this conversation. So, Sister Rose, you are welcome. You're welcome. Let me also alert everyone else that we are here. Please hit the like, where you guys turn in anytime we're having shows like this, just go ahead and hit the like button so the algorithm could be ready. The algorithm could be like, oh, all right, these Wahala people, they are going again. Let me quickly notify people that they are back. All right. Let me take out this music. We can start this conversation as fast as we can. Welcome, Sister Rose, my lovely Sister Rose. Rose is a channel. How are you, ma?
Hey, good evening, Ben.
Good evening, Sister Rose. First off, I want to really appreciate you for at least being ready to co-host with me and to start this bass boss. But don't punch me, Sister Rose. I'm just going to try my best.
Uh-huh. You
I'm
might be delightfully surprised.
right.
Mhm.
All right. Okay. Sister Rose, the conversation we want to have right now, to be honest, it has nothing to do with people who are single. I am not shading them. The conversation is more or less going to focus more on what are we supposed to tell the young folks that are coming after us, or the parents who are raising teenagers or grown-up kids. What are they supposed to tell them? So that is where I'm coming from now. While I was on my appointment and waiting for the guys who are working in my house to round up, I went back and I replay the last segment on the previous show. I listened to what everybody said, and I'm like, all right, I think I get what people are saying. So I'm not ready to fight. I'm just going to express myself. I'm just going to try and see if we can make it make sense. So, Sister Rose,
Yes.
let's start with your previous take on
Mhm.
the show. So, if you can just reiterate what you said regarding what people say about those in their 40s before they got married, and like the title of this show states, why marry late and marry young?
Mhm.
Let's start from there, Sister Rose. What's your take concerning this? My question: why marry late and then you marry wrong at the end of the day?
Mhm.
What's
What I, okay, what I was saying about why marry late. How do we know if this? That's something that's out of people's control in some cases. What if you're dealing with a situation where, by circumstance of no fault of their own, some people don't get picked? Some people don't find the right person. It could be the atmosphere. It might not be a situation of choice. It happens to be that way. So the issue of why marry late, that could be out of their control. That's what I was saying, you know? And then the question I was asking you, okay, if that person finds themselves in what someone considers late, do they then not marry at all? Is that the better option? So then, if they don't marry at all, then it won't even be an issue of they married late. That was what I was saying. These are things that are outside of their control.
Okay. Now, let's break it down a little bit. Let's go to the specific. Can you give an example of a situation that is out of their control?
Okay, I'll give you one situation that some people in, okay, for instance, in the United States, okay, and this may be controversial, but this is an issue that I've seen some people go through. You have women who come here in search of greener pastures, opportunities that they wouldn't get in Nigeria, in the
Mm-hmm.
process being busy, working hard. And I'm sorry, people know what I'm talking about. North America is no place for a woman looking to be married. Now, some people are lucky, some people are fortunate that they get someone, some don't. That's one area where it could be late for them. Then you got some people who are in medical school. Some they don't get and they don't find anyone that they're marrying, or they're so much into the work they cannot. And then if this is person is taking care of only themselves, they have to take their no one is helping them. So they're dealing with their education. They're trying to get their education. Then they gotta work to pay their bills. No time to find someone. Sometimes um, that situation a circumstance. Those are the few that come to my mind. There could be other things, but those are just one of the few that come to my mind that they may find they might be late for them, and maybe when they were in school, they didn't see anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they didn't see anyone they liked, or nobody picked them. Those things happen. That's out of their control. That's one of the few stuff that I can. I'm sure there's more reasons, but that's just one of the two things that came to my mind real quick.
Okay. And to be honest, you give me a very good answer. I agree with you 100%.
Mhm,
Uh, People can find themselves in a situation that is outside their control. And that
mhm,
example that you give, honestly, that's a very good example.
mhm,
People who traveled for educational purposes.
mhm,
We know that in Africa,
mhm,
we a lot of parents who are rich and they can afford international studies, they want their children to go and study abroad. And when the children come here,
mhm,
uh, their sole focus will be on that education. So
mhm,
I agree with you on that note.
mhm,
Now, however, also I agree with you that finding a man or a woman to marry abroad can be very, very difficult. It can be a Herculean task.
mhm,
It's not as easy as we think it is.
mhm.
So I get all that and I 100% agree with it. But now, here is where I'm beginning to have my reservations. If you are studying,
Mhm.
we know as African parents, the emphasis will be on, hey, go after your career. No worry, your husband is waiting, your wife is waiting. Just finish your study, focus on your study. Would you agree with me that people who are studying, they should also bear in mind that being in school offer this perfect opportunity to also find a partner?
Absolutely, absolutely. And here's the thing, Ben. Many do. Many do. They're not just looking for education. In fact, some people even feel that that education is an excellent way of them finding not only their mate, hopefully someone of quality, someone on their level, but it
Yeah,
doesn't turn out that way.
agreed. All right. Would you also agree that, would you say it's a good advice to tell a child who is studying that, hey, while you are studying, don't be too harsh on girls, don't be too harsh on boys. Make sure at the same time you are also checking them out to see if you guys can have something solid. Would you say it's a good advice to tell children?
It's an absolute, a very good advice. It's a very good advice. And then many times, some parents even encourage that. In some cases, I know of some cases there, this particular mother wanted the daughter to be married in Nigeria first before she went overseas. So there are people who are very aware of the situation. Yes.
Okay. So we you can see that you and I we are agreeing on on
Hmm.
everything, right?
Hmm.
So now let us clear a myth. There is this myth that whenever I hear people speak about it, it bothers me. And I think it's high time we cleared that out of the way first.
Hmm.
Okay. So
Hmm.
I have two questions now,
Hmm.
and I'm coming, please. I wanted to put it on the screen.
Hmm.
All right. So we can agree to disagree. So number one question, and this goes to everybody who is watching. Please do me a favor, hit the like. It's late. I know a lot of people in Nigeria and London, they are sleeping already. They're probably gonna catch this live on replay. But if you are watching right now, just hit the like. Oh, thank you, Sister Marriott. Welcome back. Marriott says there are people who move abroad at late 20s, 30s, and they are trying to find their way in the abroad. 100%
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, she's 100% correct. Absolutely.
So, and she said anything can happen. Relationship fail at any time. They can find themselves single. I agree with that absolutely.
I have a story on that. I have a story on that. This last statement that Marriott made it, and it was a very sad story. But we'll talk about it as it goes on.
All right. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you. But okay, let's get the story first before we get into this question and answer segment.
Um.
Tell us about it.
Okay. Now here is a situation. This happened. This is a real life story. A popular, very famous surgeon in Nigeria, in River State. One of his daughters came here to go to medical school. Everything was going fine. As fate would have it, she got with this guy, got with this Nigerian guy. He's also a doctor. As my mom met the woman, and the woman told my mother. She said she regrets sending her children to America. See, that's why all this people feeling jealous of each other. Now, what happened? Why did she say that? We heard that this girl eventually was in jail in America. Why? Rumor had it that this fiance infected her with an incurable disease. You know what it is, because I don't know which in YouTube, I don't know which words are prohibited and not prohibited.
Yeah.
They said that this girl, the I think he was I heard two different stories. One I heard he was trying to R her, and then she used her ammunition on him. Then
Hmm.
we heard that because she got this disease, she took out her ammunition and used it. That different stories. This girl, bright future, she was even featured in magazines, ended up going to jail. Spent 3 years in jail. They said that she almost ended her life. I think as stories would have it, everything her name got cleared. So here we are thinking that she's going to live happily ever after.
Hmm.
Shortly afterward, I heard she got sick and she was gone.
Hmm.
So see what happens. A true story. I know these people because her father operated on my dad. So I know them very well.
Oh, that was a very sad story. Oh my,
Hmm.
that's so sad. All right. Thank you for sharing that story with us, Sister Rose. Now let's get down into some of these myths that we have to demystify before we get to this Abiola lady that got divorced. So, my question to you here, Sister Rose, is this: is marriage an achievement? And I'm posting that same question to everyone in the chat. Is marriage an achievement?
That depends, but my answer is no, it's not. Now, there was a time, you see, things, people's way of life and people's mode of living have to do with the time. There was a time marriage was an achievement when men were the sole breadwinner, when pre the industrial revolution, um, women needed men to live and be comfortable. Um, People wanted more families because more families meant more children. More children meant more hands on deck. More hands on deck that created a stronger family unit that that created wealth. And as I said, when men are solely dependent, the sole breadwinners, when men also hoard resources, keeping women dependent on them and the woman doesn't have any choice, that is an achievement. There was a time even in Nigeria, marriage was the way, and I think it even still is the case, where marriage is a way families got wealth. If the girl married into a rich family, that family was set. But times have changed. That is really not, to be honest with you, it's really not an achievement at any in any stretch of the imagination. But then it especially was, it was bragging rights because people felt that that's how they elevated themselves and their family. And then what tends to happen is, whatever is this token of status or this token of elevation, people continue and follow that mode of way of life, even if it makes no sense to their lives. So you have so many people now wanting to marry for status, even if there's nothing to benefit from it, just to say I'm married. So as far as I'm concerned, it is an achievement. I don't see it,
You don't
because
see
some
marriage as
women
an
have done, some
yeah.
women, I don't see it as an achievement. It's a nice thing to have. It's a nice thing to do. I'm assuming this is what you want. Is this what makes you happy? But even if it does make you happy, I don't think that's an achievement. I just think it's part of your life and what you choose to make of it.
All right, sounds good. Let me take a couple of comments real quick. Mario said, so many people in Canada are in those situations, moved as big adults trying to settle. 5 years don't pass, then no man or woman, they start looking in Nigeria. Absolutely. It's not just in Canada. A lot of people here in the US are facing the same situation, especially that 5 years of settling down. Some people, I actually consider people who settle down in 5 years, I count them as being fast. They are really fast. It means they hit the ground running. It takes some people 7 years, some it take them 10 years to settle down. And I think it's almost the same story across the Western world. So, Sister Marriott, I agree with that one 100%. Sister Natu said, to people who desire marriage, it is an achievement to them. Absolutely. We're going to come to that. And Sister Natu is in the studio. So, Sister Natu, let me take this and then I'll come to you real quick, ma.
All right,
Uh,
no problem.
Samulu, my brother, you're welcome, Baba. So Samulu also said, you know, just want UK and Nigeria people to join this show because people don't, people they bed. Absolutely, they will probably watch it on replay. I just want us to have this clean conversation because I have a lot in my mind, and I think if we don't have too much bad boost going, we can actually understand each other. So, Sister Natu, same question: is marriage an achievement?
Like the answer that I gave, people that desire marriage and are hoping to do it, once they're able to do it, is an achievement to them. There are some people that will say, if I marry, fine, if I don't marry. So you understand what I'm saying? It's no big deal to them. So some people like Nakaya for their head. So if you're able to offload that Kaya for your head, na achievement now. Do you understand? So some people they don't see it as that. So for me, I won't judge people that see that as an achievement, and I won't judge people that don't see that as an achievement, because to each his own. But also, I wanted to go back to what Marriott said how some people move down after 5 years, they start going back home to go and look for husband. So I happen to fall in that category. And what had happened is that I will share. A lot of people don't socialize. The only thing we do is go to church and work. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
the church that you're going to, there's no plenty men. So you will not find husband there. Go to parties, go to weddings, go to picnic, go for networking, hang out with friends. You meet people. Husband there abroad though. Now you know they carry IC because you want to find money. Now there the problem dey. That's the most because for my own, I will spend 2 years without going for any party.
Hmm.
That was what happened. Yes. I go get wedding invitations, different. Oh, 2 years, Uncle Ben. I go one party in 2 years because I'm always working. I didn't have time. So the distant relationship was the one that was working for me because the only thing I can be talking at work, talking when I come back home, go to sleep. I don't have to go out and go anywhere and meet you. So do I advise people distant relationship? I don't. It's really not advisable. It works for some people, it doesn't work for some. But I don't advise it, honestly speaking. So that's the problem why when people come up and they don't have fine husband, they only go to church and work. They don't socialize.
All right. Thank you very much, Sister Natu. Please, if you are stopping by, help me hit the like button so the algorithm can pick this up. Mr. Samulu, you actually tried, Baba. You joined us. So, bros, same question. Do you consider marriage an achievement? You are muted, Samulu.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, bros.
Yes. Yeah, I believe marriage is an achievement based on the standard you have set for yourself. And I don't think I know anyone from that was raised from our background or in our country that doesn't really wish to get married. So when some people say, oh, marriage is not really an achievement, sometimes they just want you to give consolation to themselves because some people might see that they are failed because when they didn't make decision at the right time to get settled down. Some like initially in the first uh part one when you're saying that when you yeah people should not stop judging women, should not have opinion about women. I was looking at it, that should be stop double standard because you see people talk about men, they you know do some form of emotional blackmail against men that you've been in the 50, you suffer in your old age if you don't get married. But if you say the same thing about women too, it's the same women that will come for you, but they always have a feeling about men that you abandon your marriage, you're going to suffer in your old age or this and that. So we shouldn't play that game. Everyone, you can have opinion about someone else. You can have opinion about what you see online. So in my own opinion, I see marriage as an achievement. And if if possible, you enter marriage and you fail, you can try again. But we shouldn't, wholeheartedly and say that marriage is not an achievement. Is To me, is an achievement, and a good marriage is a very good achievement. For some people, marriage have uplift them. They have seen, like me. Um, I would say, I have, enjoyed marriage and I've getting some form of privilege in marriage. When I moved to UK, my wife has been in UK for a long time, even though I have come on my own on visiting visa, go back to Nigeria while I was still working, but I relocated eventually because I'm married to somebody who is a British citizen, and that is one of the benefit of marriage. And it can be on both sides. It can be a woman, a man living abroad bringing his wife, and you've seen women who marry into a very rich, very rich family, and marriage has changed their trajectory in life. So it can be for it can also be for happiness. It can be for companionship and so many things. So marriage is an achievement as far as I'm concerned. It's only when it goes left that then we begin to see, we begin to condemn should must everybody married or this. I believe we as human beings were created to, have companion and to, you know, be in marriage. So I see marriage as an achievement.
All right. Thank you.
Excuse me,
Uh,
Ben. Excuse me,
yes,
Ben. I have to say something because there was some low key shade that was just said. right now, and I needed to correct. He made the comment that for some people, when they don't have it, then they negate it. Nobody is negating it. We've had plenty of talks like this, Ben, and I have said I am not against people being single. I am not against people being married. I never negated anyone for either decision they make. I feel people should do what's good for them. And if
Yeah.
a person feels that that's an achievement, whoop-de-doo, good for you. But some of us we don't see it as an achievement, but it does not mean that we're putting it down. And for your information, I grew up in Nigeria, okay? I grew up there from when I was 9 years old. I came from a good home, two-parent household. My parents stayed together. So I do know the importance of marriage and the status that it holds. I am just saying that the status that we put on it has pushed people to make decisions and trying to get that a status and trying to get that so-called achievement. It has pushed people into misery. Look at the woman who that we talked about previously. She's being treated badly. The woman is doing everything in her power to keep the man. He doesn't like her. She's saying she's going to stay, being unhappy because of this quote unquote achievement. That's all I'm saying. Don't do it to the point now you're being miserable and you're being treated terribly and you're unhappy, all in the name of this achievement and status. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you, Sister Rose, for the clarification right there. Mr. Dayo is already in the building. But let me move on to the next question and then Mr. Dayo can take it from there. So, what I heard from both Sister Rose and Sister Nato is that marriage is an achievement depending on the people who are in it and how they see it. But marriage generally is not considered an achievement. Okay, here is the next question, which I think is a better way for me to get clarity on this one. So please look at this question. For those who are watching, please hit the like. I'm checking the like is still at 7 and we are like 12, 13 watching. So please do me a favor, just hit the like. The like, free money. So please hit the like, hit the like. So here is the next question to get clarity. Would you consider being single an achievement? So let's take it, Sister Rose, my chief guest today. What's your take on this one, Sister Rose? Would you consider being single?
Ben, I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do. You
No.
are really an instigator. You're an instigator of trouble. Okay, Ben, let's take it from a biased point of view. If marriage is considered achievement, let's not play games here. In the Nigerian African culture, being married is very important. So when you ask that question, is being single an achievement? It's not. Then being single is a state of being. You simply are. So I don't think, but then again, if you grew up in the African way, okay, I'm just gonna say it the way you are thinking and everyone is thinking. Being single is not an achievement from the African point of view. Being single from the African point of view is a form of failure. It isn't, but that's just the way the thinking is. So no, it's not an achievement when you look at it from that point of view. But if you look at it from a general point of view, Ben, it's neither an achievement or a failure. It's just a state of being.
Okay, so to you, Sister Rose, being single is also not an achievement. Sister Sister Natu, do you share the same sentiment? Hello, Sister Marriott. Sister Natu. Sister Mario, you don't enter my head now. Wahala, sister. Sister Natu, I be your network don't drop. Okay, be like Sister Natu network drop. Okay, Samuel.
Never drop for now. Food I go fine.
So you won't go eat, may you ready fight where?
That they tell you, like I won't get energy. Honestly, like how Sister Rose said, Brother, I don't know what you're trying to do. So it's just gonna be the same thing if you ask this question and say is being single an achievement, then it's the same thing as saying that do you feel like if you don't have kids, you're a failure?
Hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So, like
Mm.
Rose said, it's a state of being. So let me tell you, some people get married and don't make progress. Sorry, they're cleaning my house.
No
I
problem,
need
ma'am.
to finish with this talk a lot. So some people might be married and not be able to achieve a lot in life, and some people might be single and be able to do more. So that's why I said it's neither a failure or an achievement. It depends on who. I'm telling you, I have an aunt that wanted to marry so bad that they were stopping her not to buy a car because they were stopping her not to buy a car because they felt like if she buy a car, there's no man that will marry her. The guy that she wanted to marry, the way that guy was bringing my auntie down. My auntie died, I think, at like, she cried at 51 or 52. The thing that that woman has achieved, she wouldn't have achieved it with that man. So are you going to tell me now that being single is not an achievement for her? It was an achievement for her because she was able to fulfill her life, she was able to live her purpose, which she would have not been able to do if she was married to that person. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's just a state of being.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sister. Thank you, Sister Natu. Uncle Dayo, you share the same sentiment? Marriage an achievement, being single an achievement. What's your take, bros?
Basically, marriage is neither an achievement nor it's not an achievement because to me it is 50-50. Depends on which perspective you are looking at it from. And then I don't want us to like stigmatize because all what I've been hearing from beginning of this particular program is that they are just limiting it to African culture, African culture. To me, it is being overemphasized. Let me use that word because marriage is the same all over the world. Whether you are African or you are a European or you are an American, it is still the same thing that we're talking about. Why do people get married? Is it only because we have societal pressure, or is it something that God Himself has created every human to have that hunger uh, or that thirst in them to have a partner? So to me, it is not about societal pressure. It is more about God Himself creating that void in a man and then in a woman, that you need somebody to be closer to you, to complement you and to complete you. Because naturally, a normal person will not feel complete until you have a partner in marriage, as a man or as a woman. But because of the recent events all around us, both in Africa, America, Europe, Asia, anywhere you name it, because of the recent happenings that is going on, people tend to run away from marriage. Not because marriage is not good in itself, but because of so many things that are going on, that are happening, so people don't want to get involved in it any longer. So it now make it to be something that you can now run away from, or something that you don't see as that important again because of all the other experiences and all the things that you have been hearing and you have been saying about it. So if you can take away all that sentiment, marriage is something that you will like gravitate towards. As a man, as a woman, as you're growing up, you get to a particular stage, you feel like, oh, this is time for me now to settle down and have a partner. That's the way God has created it. Whether you are in America or whether you are an African, or it is not about culture. It's about the general state of every human being in this world. Having said that, being single also, as Taro said, if you say all of us were born single, and then we grew up being single, we went to school being single, and then after you might have achieved almost everything you set out to really achieve in life, you now feel that, okay, I've done what I'm supposed to do as a single. The next phase is for me to achieve this. What makes some people still remain single after all is not far from what I've just explained earlier on. Maybe because of the fear of what marriage can imply in their life, or maybe because of what they've had, or maybe because of the experiences that they've had. They're like, no, marriage is not for me. So they want to choose to remain single. But it's not an achievement. It's a state of being. So having said that, I believe that whatever situation we find ourselves in, to me, marriage may be an achievement because it is what God ordained for every man. But some people don't really see value in it, and they are happy being single. No one can blame them for that. But people that still treasures it, for people that still values it, they still want to go into it, even though they marry and they fail, they still want to go back into it again because there's that void in them, that vacuum that they want to fill up. So to me, I think it's an achievement if you are in tune with it. Thank
All
you, sir.
right. Thank you. Mr. Sam, you have any contrary opinion on this one, boss? Mr. Samulu?
Well, I don't really have much counter to what you have said, but you are asking what is single an achievement.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we can't really say something that is a natural state of everyone to be achievement or not, because normally by status quo, we are forced be single before we enter into marriage. So the state of being single, you cannot say is being an achievement or not or is not an achievement. So it depends on the way you want to look at it. But you can also say that somebody has failed when he reached a certain age, being single, and not, moving to the next stage in life. It's just like you have been in a class for a very long time and you are supposed to be at another level, or you're working in a company, you've been in a place for a long time, you're supposed to be a manager, and people are, people after you coming into the company and then moving to the next level, but you are still on the same level or for over a time. And when we talk about this thing, it's not only we're not talking only about women, we also talk about men, because you at a certain age you begin to see men as, oh boy, what are you doing now? You are over. One of my secondary school mates just got married about 2 years ago. I think he's the guy who is the last guy in my set that got married very late. And even though before he got married, then we used to shade him when we were talking as guys. But guys doesn't take any. They don't. How do I say it now? They don't get angry about it when we shade each other. Say, oh, my son, my grandson will be calling you uncle before you know it, and we laugh about it. But eventually, we got married. So women also, we also shade ourselves. It's only that when we talk about women, and women think that, oh, these men are always putting women under pressure, but we do it to ourselves too, when we know that at a certain age you're supposed to have settled down, but you are not, you don't want to make that decision. So being single might not be we might not really try to, qualify it, but when you get to certain time, we expect you to have moved to another level. It might not be as easy for women as it's easy for men, but at some point, like you said in the part one, there's decisions that some women have made, or like some women might have said, "Oh, because of this, I'm looking for this and that," and it takes them time to meet the right person. And when they get to a certain age, it's very difficult to now meet all the qualities they've set for themselves in a man. They might not be able to get those kind of men. So at that age, to them it might be a failure, but it's just something that you cannot tell them to their face. But we all know, but it's just that we are just being shy. We don't want to be very blunt about it. That's just my own opinion.
All right.
But
Thank
Ben, please let me add to what Mr. Samolu said. I'm just
Um,
going to fight back what you say. I don't know, maybe for the lack of choice of right words. But even the Bible that God gave us, that marriage was ordained, even that Bible has also given people leverage not to get married. I can't Google on my phone right now because my StreamYard is on my search engine. Uncle Ben, Google on your the people in the men in the Bible that were never married and women in the Bible that were never married. Those ones that were never married are the people. Tabitha was never married. They will every time people talk, they talk about Tabitha till today, till tomorrow. She was never married. That didn't make her less. People that were married in the Bible didn't do more than what she did. And that's why we keep saying all the time, is that mentality that we have, especially Africans, we make it. And then when people start saying now that they don't want to get married, they're like, oh, you're trying to be westernized. No, even the Bible, even the apostles in that Bible, dig it out now, that were never married, never got married, and they fulfilled their purpose. They lived to the last and they achieved everything God has ordained for them. That's why we keep saying all the time. It's not everybody that's ordained to be married. But because we have the African mentality, like that's why we see like as an achievement too. Or if you don't get married, God has ordained you as a woman to reproduce. Not every woman is meant to reproduce. Please. Esther, in the Bible. Show me where they mention her children. Is there any preaching that they preach with that Esther? Show me in the Bible where they mention Esther. Even Tabitha herself, show me where she has children. Never, never, never. So we should talk, especially Africans, we make a big deal out of this thing. Oh, you're supposed to reach where you're supposed to marry. No. And that's what Sister Rose was saying. Stop pushing people to what they are not. If God has not called somebody to marry, let him go and be doing what he's supposed to do. I've shared my experience with you guys before. One of the desires that I had, I was like, by the time I reach 40, I have pictures of my photo shoot that I want to do with my husband and my children. Now, so 40 come, now two of us, they look ourselves. God tell me, say, you're here fighting for picture of children. I think it's I never reach. Well, come and go and do work for me. That was when God gave me the option of that my foundation I started doing. And let me tell you, that work that I was doing took away my mind from anything thinking about children because I was always busy. If it's not work, it's in my house. If it's not my house, it's something about the foundation. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not everybody. And I was not thinking, I said, in my mind, I say, almost to say I get children, I'm not be able to do this work while they do this or what I tell because I've gone to Nigeria twice this year already. This is just June. I've gone to Nigeria twice already. So if I had children, I would not be able to fulfill that. That's what I'm telling you. It's not about that God has called to be parents. It's not about that God has called to be a husband and a wife. That's why some people go and enter that marriage and be very terrible because that's not their calling. What God has called them to do. When God called them, didn't Tabitha fulfill her purpose? She fulfilled her. I'm from a Baptist background. We have the Lydia's fellowship. It's not because of her that they created the Lydia's fellowship. Because of her. Was she ever married? No. No. She's still a big distance in the Baptist fellowship right now. Everything's done because of her. She didn't have kids. She didn't have husband. Tell me where she's less. So it's just an African mentality that you have to. You don't have to. It's there in the Bible. If you cannot, the Bible, I'll Google that part and send you. Say if you cannot,
I found it.
if you cannot,
I found it. It's 1 Corinthians 7.
read it, my sister. I beg.
It says here. Ben, what are you laughing? Why are you laughing? What's that laugh all about?
Hold on. I'm laughing because it's funny the way you were reading the Bible and Sister Nadu say, read it. Like
Okay.
in those olden churches.
Rose, read it, I beg, read it.
I say I got it on Google, so there are many different versions. I might have to read two, but the first one I'm seeing here, Paul's writings in Corinthians 7 highlight that those who are unmarried or widowed can be better served by focusing on the Lord's affairs. He acknowledges that while marriage is a good solution to avoid sexual immorality, it is good for those to maintain self-control and be single. In fact, I took Bible knowledge in school. But what I remember
Who is Paul's wife again? No, Sister Rose, sorry, I'm sorry to interject. Who is Paul's wife?
No one.
Exactly. Is there any, how many books did Paul write in the Bible? Is there any person that they don't mention Paul now? Did that make him less of a man?
No, it didn't make him less of a man. But what happens with human beings? Everybody's looking for their selfish interest because nobody highlights this part. That part, it's so amazing how everyone wants to focus on this Bible, okay? But we pick and choose the part that we want because everyone is looking for what serves them. They're not thinking about that part, so we pretend that we don't see that. And again, this is the point that I'm trying to make is nobody's saying that you shouldn't get married. If you want to get married, be married. But again, do not negate those who are not. Don't see it as a failure. And then here's the thing. The people keep talking about this marriage. Oh, how you'll be lonely. Do you know the number of people who are married and are unhappy? I know someone for a fact, this is not hearsay. On the outside, everything looks good. Long-lasting marriage, 3 kids, all achieved. You know what the woman said because of certain things that was going on in the home? She said, if there's anything that's called reincarnation, I don't ever want to be married or have children. But to look at everything and on the surface, it looked beautiful. I'm not saying marriage is not good. Ben, the way you talk, the way I see you, you look like you're very happy, like you really enjoyed it. Why would I say it's a bad thing? It's an enviable thing. But I'm also seeing people who have said they're very unhappy, but they're married. So how can you one say that this particular way is better than that? And there are people who are single, they're not happy, very unhappy. I will never negate that. But then there's some people marriage was the worst thing that ever happened to them. It didn't, and if I'm telling you, you see some of them, you're like, what? You you are the look of envy. It wasn't that way. That's all.
All right. Okay, so Sister Natu, it's not to make a reference about people in the Bible who are not married and yet their name lives forever. So I Google it and the list is plenty, but these are just the one that were highlighted. We have Jesus Christ himself, we got John the Baptist, we got Jeremiah, we got Paul the Apostle, we got Mary Magdalene, Mary of Bethany,
Ben,
and
Ben, Ben, forgive me, please. No disrespect. I'm not trying to be rude. Matthew, I'm looking at Matthew 19, 10, 12, and I picked this one because it said Jesus. Jesus acknowledges that not everyone, listen to this, acknowledges that not everyone is capable of marriage and that some are given special gifts to remain unmarried. I didn't say, oh, Matthew. I'm not even using it to my defense. I'm just saying there's an example of Jesus Christ, the author and finisher of our faith. Now him talk no be me.
all right, no problem. Where is it? This thing go populate on another page. I wanted to show you guys something just to, because I'm following everybody back to back. Sister Rose, today not today, we're gonna get to the bottom of this today. So the Bible verse Sister Rose just quoted, which is Matthew 19:10-12, says, the disciples said to him, if this is the situation between a husband and wife, is it better not to marry? And Jesus replied, not everyone can accept this word, but only those whom it has been given. For there are Enochs who were born that way, and there are Enochs who have been made Enochs by others, and there are those who choose to live like Enochs for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. The one who can accept this should accept it. I think the word of Jesus right there already answer the question. And talking about people who are single, not married, and they have a fantastic life, my take is this: if you are a missionary, like our Catholic bishops and the like, and it's part of your religious doctrine that if you're gonna lead, if you're gonna be a bishop, or what do they call their a Catholic priest, yeah, you are not supposed to be married, then that is your calling. It is understandable. But I am yet to see a Catholic bishop that stood right there on the altar and say marriage is not an achievement. I do believe that even the priests recognize that they are making an enormous sacrifice when they choose to be single. So I've never heard them come out and say marriage is not an achievement. So Sister Maria said, I'm waiting in the corner. Just to come back to why I asked those two questions simultaneously, that is marriage an achievement? Welcome, Sister Yinka, for those who don't know where we started. So that's where we started. I asked the question, is marriage an achievement? And Sister Rose said, depending on how people perceive it. But in conclusion, Sister Rose said it's not an achievement. And I think Mr. Dayo, Uncle Samolu say it's an achievement, and Sister Natu also supported what Sister Rose said. Well, for my own opinion, before I say it, I ask this second question: would you consider being single an achievement? And to be candid, I think Samulu is the one that I want to agree with to some extent. When you want to consider being single an achievement or not, I think it has to do with the age. If somebody is still at school age and is single, or maybe just graduated and is still maybe in the mid 20s or late 20s or early 30s and they are single, that can be considered an achievement. Okay, but if the person is getting older and older and they are single, I don't think we can say, oh, this is an achievement. But I agree with how Sister Rose and the rest of the panel put it, that it all depends on where you stand. What does marriage or being single, what does it mean to you. I agree with that. Now, where I have issue is this, and we are free to discuss this. I've seen people, the people I see mostly that sing on top of their voice. Marriage is not an achievement. Marriage is not an achievement. They are usually single people. I'm sorry. Maybe there are some married people that also say marriage is not an achievement, and they are married. They've been married for the longest and they are enjoying their marriage, and they come out and say, oh, marriage is not an achievement. If you know them, show me their video. I will be glad to go and watch it. But I haven't seen one person. This pastor that they used to hype well in Nigeria, PK. Oh, PK, 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 PK. I don't think I've heard PK say that marriage is not an achievement. If PK stand on that pulpit and say marriage is not an achievement, I will tell you, you are listening to a fake man. And that is why this is just my own opinion. Because if we look at it, we can also ask some other questions like, do you consider a university degree as an achievement? I bet if I ask that right now, everybody will say, yes, yes, it's an achievement. Why is it an achievement? Don't we have people who obtain university degree and they become useless? They don't make anything with it. They are not successful. They don't even know what the degree is meant for. And don't we have people who went to school, they got the university degree, and they become these amazing people who are high achievers? So if I ask you, is a university degree an achievement? I bet everybody will say, yes,
Then that
yes,
applies.
yes.
No, not necessarily. It comes down to the same thing. Okay, let me let you finish. Sorry.
No, go ahead. That's just another. Okay, maybe we can add. Let
It
me
can.
add so we can take it together, man. Sorry. Let me add this. If we also ask, do you consider a millionaire a successful man or woman? What
No.
would
Well, okay. A
be
million.
Rose?
Oh, sorry, Ben. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm done. I'm just trying to lay the groundwork for the next conversation. Go ahead, man.
Okay. A millionaire successful. It depends on if you in the world, monetary accumulation of money is considered a success. So it depends on how you look at it. Being a millionaire can be a success. It can also be an absolute failure. You doubt me? You want to quote me? You think I can't defend that? Go listen to Steve Jobs, the letter he wrote as he lay dying and what he felt. And it was so gut-wrenching. He said that despite everything that he had achieved, adulation from the world, the highest achievement, he said, as he lay there dying, hearing the beat of the ventilator of life support, he said that everything that he had achieved meant nothing. So it depends on the way that you look at things. It can be an achievement. It may not be an achievement, depending on what you see value in. Now let's go to the degree. That can be an achievement, and it can be nothing. It can mean absolutely nothing. There are people. Some people are saying that some of these degrees, the toilet paper is worth more than. It's not an achievement. For some people it is, for some people it isn't. It is relative. And Ben, let me tell you something. I respect you, but I caught the shade. I caught the diplomatic shade, Ben, when you said that the people who are
Rose, I
saying
beg, I just chop. I beg, I just chop. I don't want choke. Now go, I take beg you. Sister Rose.
Let's go. Let's go.
I caught the
Oh
shade,
my
Ben.
God.
Sister Rose said diplomatic shade.
Yeah, I take diplomatic. You won't make I choke this night.
I caught the diplomatic shade, Ben. That
diplomatic shade.
The people who are single, the ones who are saying that who are advocating it are the ones who are against marriage or don't see marriage as an achievement are single people. That's not true, Ben. I know people who are married who they regretted it. Let me make this very clear, please. I want this understood. I do believe that marriage can be a beautiful thing. I'm not, I hope people are not misunderstand me. I'm not saying marriage is not good. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying being single is bad. I'm just saying the emphasis put on it is false. There are people who are married. It looks good. And you see another problem with Africa. Okay, look at the generator. I'm going to get off the topic while staying on the topic. Look at in Nigeria, we have a generator. It's called my generator, pass your own. All this we're
Pass my
always
neighbor.
trying to
I pass my neighbor.
Neighbor.
pass my neighbor.
Rose. It is called
No,
my neighbor. Now
I
my
just
first
pass my
generator.
name.
Okay. you know,
Hey, Sister Rose, no verse. When I bought my first generator, I
Mhm.
was service. I passed my neighbor, Tiger. When I honor my wash film finish, I go take cloth, clean her, punish her. In the morning, you think say easy to buy? I pass my neighbor. Sister Rose just start to. Anyway, go ahead, my sister.
Listen, no, but Ben, I appreciate and I respect all of that. I do. Okay, like for instance, there was this thing my mother bought. I'm going to be real transparent with you. When we were coming back, there was this thing. It was like I don't know, like a thermos, but it was a special one. So my mother was like, yes, when I come back, I'll be the only one who has this. Everybody will be envying me. That's that Nigerian thing in all of us, even me. I won't lie. When my mother got to Nigeria, she said, look at same thing that I thought only me will have, everybody has. The problem with us in Africa, and I think all human beings, that Mr. Dio is correct. It's not just an African culture, but it's particular in us. We always want to stun on the next person. How am I better than you? Then if we are married, Ben, you should. There's this thing called this on BBC. It's called Nigerian Aunties. It is the funniest thing, but it really embodies Nigeria. They go to this wedding. The two aunties look at each other. How are you? Then one says, my grandson is a doctor. The other one says, Ben, come here. Come and tell him how you are a lawyer. Then this one says, my grandson is married with 2 children. This other one says, oh, I'm married with 4 children. The constant competition. So if it isn't the married thing, so anyway, to stay on topic, let me stay on topic. You started to say, the people who are single are jealous. That's why they're saying that. Okay, so Ben, go talk to the people. If we want to make this fair, go talk to the people who are married. And they're saying that for them, marriage, it didn't give them what they wanted. To them, they even feel that marriage it was a waste of their life. Everybody is not jealous, Ben.
All right. I'm
But
actually
Ben, real quick, right? Did you remember that senator that would slap somebody at the adult store in
yes,
Nigeria? So
yeah.
that guy has 3 wives.
Senator.
Okay? Yes, Senator Abo, and he's a Christian. That guy has 3 wives, number one. Number two, one of the wives, she has been posting stuff about she and the husband until like 4 days ago. And then she'll be posting her name, Dr. PIA for in Hausa, Dr. PIA now SIA. All of a sudden, this lady just posted yesterday that their marriage has come to an end. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So the
Oh,
point, I'm just like linking it to what Sister Rosa said. I have a friend, I think she should be like around, I'm 40, I'll be 43. I think she'll be like around 46, 47. When we got talking when I went to Nigeria, and she told me, she was like, that her husband, he was married before she married him. They've tried IVF 5 times. One of the IVF that they had to evacuate. And she just went and said, maybe God does not destine her. Do you know what God has called her to do? Create shelter and rescue girls from trafficking. That's what she's doing right now. That's what she's doing right now. So that's probably, I'm telling you, that's why Auntie B and Ola used to preach this thing on self-awareness all the time. Know yourself. By the time you know yourself, you even know if the marriage is for you or is not for you, or you want to go into marriage or not. If like Brother Samolu said, no, okay, let's say if everybody decide not to reproduce, if all of us decide to be entrepreneurs, who will be the managers? Who will be the salesperson? Not everybody is called to be an entrepreneur. Not everyone is called to be. Some people are called to be operation. They're called to be leaders in organizations. They are called to manage. That's their job. So even if they have 1 billion, they create business to crash because that's not there. They don't know how to sell. They know how to manage. So it's not everybody that is called. We just read it from the Bible, the same Bible that you guys were quoting, that God created men and women to recreate. The same Bible is saying again, oh, it's the same Bible. Oh, we're not reading dictionary. It's the same Bible. And when I was making emphasis, I said, is our African mentality. And Badayo was saying that why do people keep saying that? I grew up in Nigeria till I was 27 before I left. I know the shade and the sub that we used to catch. I know one of my auntie that say at least she's happy. All of our children are married. Let me tell you, all the children that are married, none of them is happy in their marriage. All of them because they're my cousins. I'm close to all of them. One is always like complaining because the husband has a side chick. The other one is his wife that is bringing money, doesn't like to bring money out. That's not what I'm saying. So sometimes when we just, I want to, what the reason why I'm saying that is that we need to preach more to younger people, both men and women, to go on self-discovery before you think of, because when you discover yourself and you know what you want, you know who you are, what you want to do, your purpose, you know the kind of spouse that you want to pick. You don't just go for anybody because people are picking.
All
I'm
right.
still glad that I waited till I was 34 before. I even wish I waited longer, sir. Let me even shock you. I
Ah,
wish I waited. Yes,
are
I'm
you,
telling you.
Sister Nato, are you trying to trigger me or you are trying to press
I
my?
am not trying to, I'm trying to, even if my husband is here, I'll still say it. Because some
Not
of the things I
then
knew
not
in
the hear
marriage,
word. Then not the hear. No,
some of the things that I knew after I got married, I wish I learned it before I get married. Because if I had learned those things before, some of the problems that we have will not have it. Because I will know how to handle it better. Because even me, self, I get membership, Coco, not head WhatsApp group. I never withdraw myself, finish. So, I'm just being honest. I'm telling you, my younger sister got married at 26. That girl was more prepared for marriage than all of us. I'm not even joking. My younger sister is one that teach me that a man can be calling, you don't have to pick. Be looking at the phone and let him learn his lesson. I say, who to pick? And she say, pick what? Say, Biggie, leave me, we'll be all right. Then the guy will call and be talking to me, I'll be begging her. Say, Biggie, leave me, I don't want to disrespect you, leave me alone.
All
I'm
right.
6 years older than her. 6.
All right. All right. Sister Natu, that's a good point, but I have one pushback for you real quick, Sister
Push
Natu.
back. Push back, sir.
Would you advise anybody to get married?
Will I advise anybody to get married? No,
Mhm.
I'll first ask them, what do you know about yourself? No, what do you know about yourself? I'm not going to tell somebody that you go and get a job in a bank. What do you know about banking? What do you know about yourself? Why do you
Oh,
want to get married? I'm not
Abby,
going to advise, no,
you won't tell them, you will advise them not to
no,
get married. Abby, don't.
I'm not, no, no, I'm not going to tell them not to get married. I'm just going to tell them why do they want to get married. My brother has a girlfriend and I asked him, why does he think he needs a girlfriend?
Good question.
What does he have to offer?
We will come back to this shortly when we start talking about Abiola. But I like your answer. Then we'll come back to it. So let's move on to the next thing. But my final take is this on this one. Please don't take my word for it. This is just my own view, please. I have this last question that I wanted to use to justify my take. And the last question is it okay for single men and women to shame married people with marriage is not an achievement? Maybe I should say it again. Is it okay for single people, either divorce, single, or whatever it is okay for them to throw it at married people's face all the time? Marriage is
No,
not it.
no, it's not okay. Those are naive people. They don't even know themselves. That's why
So
they're throwing that shit. Those are the
your
kind of people that will tell you school is a scam.
your vote is not okay. So let me give it to
No,
the
it's not.
chat. Please, if you are watching now, just be honest. If you think it's okay for single people to throw it either on TikTok, Facebook, everywhere,
Brother, this your question. This your question. No, even the match is not matching. Why are you even asking this question?
going
Ben,
somewhere. I'm
Why
going
is it okay?
with this. I'm going somewhere with all this.
Okay, wait, Uncle Ben, before you go somewhere,
let him
no,
let's
no, no, I'm coming. Before you go somewhere, right? The same people that will make this kind of statement are the same people that will tell you that school is a scam. And let me tell you why school is not a scam. School does not only teach you. Somebody made this statement in a podcast and it made a whole lot of sense. He said, you go to school not to learn what you're going to practice in the future only. Oh. Let me tell you what school teaches you. School teaches you structure. School teaches you management. School teaches you timekeeping. When you have to turn in your paper at a certain day and you have to do that. If not, you're going to lose points. Number one, when he had to teach you how to work on projects, all the PowerPoint presentation I've been dodging in school. Should be the first thing to do for work now. School is a scam, Abi.
All right. So, Sister Natu, for those in the chat, please let make it participate 3. If you think it's okay for people, especially single people or divorced people, to shade married people with the saying, marriage is not an achievement, drop 1 if you think it's okay. If you think it is wrong, drop 2. Now, let me come to the panel. Sister Rose,
Yes.
same question. Is it okay for
Ben,
single married people to throw shade on married people by saying marriage is not an achievement? Don't stress yourself. In whatever form, shape, or anything at all, whether those in that marriage they are happy or they are not happy, is it a good thing? Is it a good saying?
Ben, before I give you the definitive, definitive yes or no answer, what is really laughable, and I see what you're trying to do, respectfully. No, this is it's a gospel, but it's also a very, I'm enjoying the conversation. So please never take it. Don't take anything I say as an attack.
No problem.
Ben, I see what you're doing. You're trying to level the playing field and say the single people are attacking the married people. Ben, here's the thing. Most people are not saying that. Most people are not telling people. It's the other way around, because we're still in an era or dispensation, as some would like to talk, as marriage being an achievement. But in answer to your question, no, like I said, Ben, I'm neither for single or neither marriage. Let each human being do what is good for them. But no, by the same way single people don't want anyone negating them for being single, it's incorrect to negate people for being married. Live and let live.
Thank you. So I like your answer. Excellent answer. Bottom line, people should not throw it at married people's face that marriage is not an achievement. Mr. Dyer, over to you, sir. Mr. Dyer, don't drop. Okay. Mr. Sam, over to you, Baba. Same question. Should people throw it at married couples' face? Marriage is not an achievement. Don't mind them. They are not happy. They are suffering in their marriage. Don't mind them. What's your take, Baba?
Yes, my take on this is
All right,
we
thank you.
shouldn't. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. My take on this is that we shouldn't play double standard there. If the singles, not we, the single, I'm not a single person. If the single, we say, oh, stop saying that, stop attacking people or putting pressure on people to get into marriage. I don't see why the same people we openly want to be saying, oh, marriage is not an achievement. Many of them that are in marriage are not happy, they are struggling, they wish they can even be singles again. Then that's the double standard. If you're going to be, very open about it, talking down on people that are in marriage, using an example of unsuccessful marriage to make a generalization that a lot of people are not happy in marriage. And one thing I've noticed is that a lot of marriage that are not successful are the ones that get traction mostly online and mostly projected by all these celebrities because the most of them the reason for going into marriage their priorities in marriage are not properly defined or aligned. They just want to go into marriage for some maybe unrealistic expectation, and when those things are not met, they just we have gone up we've parted ways after 2 or 3 years, and society and the younger ones that are coming behind now want to use that to make it as a standard. Oh, every marriage are failing, and the truth is that we have a lot of happy marriages because those ones don't come out to come and talk about it because there is nothing to come and talk about it more because it is expected. It's only when the unexpected happen then we begin to make it a public discussion or an issue. So if the married people are not, are being judged for, saying that, for saying, telling the single ones that, oh, it's marriage is sweet, try and get into marriage and this, and it's not necessarily they're putting pressure, but they are now saying that for we and the singles have the right or the audacity to be telling people in marriage that, oh, people are in marriage are not really happy. So I think that's a double standard in my own part. So we everybody should just maintain their own lane and not talk about the everybody's status. That's just my own opinion.
Exactly. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Sister Yinka said, let everyone make up their mind and decide what is an achievement to them. Absolutely. So, on that note, I'm going to close out this segment because I want us to really have this conversation. And I'm happy that at least,
Uncle Ben,
yes,
let
ma'am.
me add real quick to what
Ben,
Mr. Samolu said, right?
before let me before
Go ahead, sir.
I live in London.
Yeah.
I have work tomorrow, so I will have to exit. So I will watch the remaining parts tomorrow. So I may be listening on my bed while I'm sleeping, but I will not really be able to make more contribution again. Thank you, everyone. Yeah?
Very much. Thank you. Thank you. Sister
Okay.
Yinka, that's actually Samulu, not even brother.
Brother.
All right,
So let
sister.
me add to what Mr. Samolu said, right? Oh my God, did I just lose my train of thought? Oh
Yeah,
shit.
Samolu is saying that people should
What
not
is it?
anybody, that they shouldn't be shading anybody about it, about marriage or not married. That people shade married people by telling them that okay, it's not an achievement. That's just what he was saying.
Oh,
But
okay. So, right, a hand. So, just to add to what he said, right, and that's why, like, I've always advocated for self awareness. Like, we should preach it to younger people because if you go, like I used to say about myself, I'm a very good starter for projects, but I'm not a finisher. And that's one thing that my husband is good at. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for us, when it comes to that, we compliment. So if I want to start something and finish it, I'll just mention it to him. The way that guy will sit on my neck until I finish that thing. But when are you doing this thing? When are you doing this thing? Oh, I will see this man and you getting just to get him off my neck, I'll go and finish it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
for us, like, is that helping? Of course it is. So some people, because they mismatch, they are two left leg in the marriage, the thing is not matching. They can't wear it and go to party because it's too left leg, because they are not agreeing and they are not seeing eye to eye. So it's not helping them. So they feel like, I regret to say I know. I will know this marriage just finish my career, it just destroy me, blah blah blah. And to some people, you see them thriving in their career because of the kind of partner that they have, that they're allowing them to excel in their career. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, like, for example, now, okay, look at what man of Prestige is doing with his wife on that counseling thing that they're doing. Do you understand? She has her own job on the side. He has his own. When it comes to that, they bring their head together. So, do you think that if they had married different people, they would have been able to achieve that? No. And that's probably a calling that God has had for them. That's why even when they tend to go separate ways, where God was able to bring them back together, they were able to work on it, and so that others will pick from it. So it's just that sometimes people don't want to pick, don't want to understand what people have different purpose for marriage. Sha. Let's just leave it like that. So some people going for marriage for poverty alleviation. So they think that the guy has money. They don't know that the guy is stingy coco. So by the time they get to the house, the guy don't want to release money. They'll start saying things about him. They'll start saying, like, I can't stay, I'm leaving. They will leave because they didn't see what they were hoping. So people have different idea of marriage in their head. And when they get their unrealistic expectations, and then he ruins the whole thing and they believe that marriage is a scam. But like Sister Rose has said, marriage can be a very beautiful thing. It depends on what angle you are looking for it from and from what angle you're enjoying it from.
All right. So thank you, Sister Natu. What I just wanted to draw out of there is the fact that let's not continue with this double standard thing of okay, because we have a lot of people who relatively they are small number who marriage did not work for. And they seems to be the loudest voice. And when they come online, they will say a whole lot of things that the truth is those who are actually married and enjoying their marriage, when they hear those people talk, they won't say anything. They will keep their reservations. You know why? Because they don't want to hurt their feelings. Now, this topic right here, this marriage is an achievement or not, if not because I've interacted with almost all our real fam here, and I see that we are really matured. We have had enough bass that some people are not supposed to come back to this channel to even say they want to watch anything, but still we come back and we relate. I wouldn't bring this topic up. I won't lie to you. If any platform at all other than my platform, if they are even discussing this topic, I won't say them, because it's hardcore truth that people can't stand. Okay, if they are discussing on some platform now, everything Sister Rose said here, which is good, that people should let people be, just the way Sister Nato is saying it now. If you say it on some platform, then go roast you. The people who are married there, they will have issue with you. Why would you say that? Hey, it's because you're not this. And then if you say the other way around, just like I said it now, that single people shouldn't be shading married people by throwing that word out there. Marriage is not an achievement. If it's on any other platform and it's not my platform here, I won't say it. I will just say it's true. I go join. It's true. Marriage is not an achievement. People should let people. I'm being honest with you, because that is what sells on social media. Is because with my coconut head, I've said so many things here that literally people who are not mature, they can't stand me. It's either you cuss me out and you just say liar, I will never listen to that guy again. But the people who understand that, okay, that is his opinion, this thing is possible, we talk, we deliberate on that, we move on. So please, just as we are encouraging people to not say some nasty things about divorcee, about single people, about single mama, baby daddy, all that, let also consider that the people who are married, they sacrifice to be married. That's why you cannot be my friend if you continue to say marriage now. I go get issue with you, because just like we are saying now, to me, marriage is a lot of achievement, and I do believe that everybody who is married and they are still keeping it together now, they have sacrificed so much to keep it going. Marriage is not a bed of roses. And just like I was saying in the previous video, there are people who their character is smelling, and they don't want to take correction. They don't want anybody to call that bad attitude.
But leave me.
Let's just say
This
it.
one won't make I choke.
There are
Your
people.
sister Rosna meet me this night.
There are people who have many character, very bad, but for the longest, they can't stand people who will call it out. So when they go, they have this physical appearance, beautiful, they are high earners, high achievers. So they attract good men or they attract good women. Now, when they marry, after the wedding, everything, by the time they are in the marriage, and then that many attitude begin to show, and their partner is beginning to look at it. What is this? Why would you behave like this? Oh, that same shit attitude they've been carrying and nursing for the longest, that they can't stand people to call it out. Now their partner is calling it out. Voila, don't start. That's why you are seeing this 1 year, 2 years marriage that is ending in divorce up and down. Before, it used to be 5, 6 years, 10 years before they do. Now, it comes to 5 years. Well, 5 years, marriage, young marriage. Now, do you see? 2 years, 3 years, they are divorcing. So the point I'm making is this. The people who are married, they are sacrificing every blessed day. They have options. One of the easiest things I've seen here in America as a married man is that if you can divorce your wife, if you are a hardworking young man and you are an entrepreneur, you have skills. If you divorce your wife and you are ready to pay child support, you will enjoy America to the fullest. And I'm being honest with this. If you divorce your wife and you are ready, willing to pay child support, you will be balling. I remember we had this conversation on Man of Prestige show one time, and it sounds like, what is this guy talking about? And I know what I'm talking about. If you are making 10 grand in a month and you have 2, 3 children and you divorce your wife, the highest child support they will take from your income, it won't even be up to $3,000. If your wife is working too, and you know the shit you are doing, and you get better lawyer, everything, they won't take up to $3,000 from your child support. Maybe 3 kids, you might end up paying maybe $1,800 or maybe $2,100. And that means from your paycheck, you still have like $7,000 plus. Now you will be balling. But if you are married, you are a responsible man, and you're making 10 grand in a month, I swear, bro, if you really want to give your wife or your children good life, that 10 grand where you they make, at least $6,000 to $7,000 there, we go into making your family good and happy. Why am I saying this? Staying married alone from a man's perspective is a huge commitment. Powerful one, especially for an African man. It's a huge commitment. It's a huge sacrifice. Now, staying married, making sure your children, your wife, they are happy is another huge commitment. It means you're going to sacrifice a lot of things on your own part. Now, flip it on the other side. In this world where we live, in this Western world, any woman that is married and she stayed married, that woman is sacrificing heaven and earth to make sure she's in that marriage. That woman is taking, no matter how beautiful the husband will be, how perfect the husband will be, that woman is still taking some bullshit in order to make sure that home is together. That woman she's skipping vacations, skipping great dinners, skipping so many things, working her ass off at home again. She'll go to regular work, come back, continue working at home. What are we talking about? She's also sacrificing. And then, if she's a greedy woman, she can simply look at her husband, that my husband is making 10 grand, 12K every month or more. If I divorce his ass, at least, if I pull everything up, first of all, I will end up getting this house, because now the man, they go throw out of the house. So I will end up getting this house. I will buy him out of the house. Then when I put him on child support, I will be using that child support payment to pay for the house. Yes, I will be bored. I will get freedom. I will be free. Man, I'll go party, do whatever I want. It's fun. That is, even if it is $2,100, that is $2,100 for 18 years. If she get three children or 4 children, she go collect that money for a year, which make it look relative. But for her to look at it and say, you know what, even though this man is behaving crazy at times, but it's not that bad, well, let me just keep on managing. It means she's sacrificing. So the bottom line is, when people come on social media and throw that term out there, marriage is not an achievement. People with their marriage, they are all suffering. A lot of them, they are crying, which is true. A lot of them are crying. They are sacrificing. A lot of them are finding out that they have just got married to a madman or a mad woman, which is true. But it's a slap in the face when people say marriage is not an achievement. Marriage to me is babala achievement. Marriage means that you are ready to sacrifice for another person. That's just what it means. If marriage is not an achievement, why are people having weddings celebrated? If all family come, hey, congratulations. If marriage is not an achievement, when people have babies, why do people go extra miles to buy stuff for them, to celebrate them? If marriage is not an achievement, why do people raise children up, sacrifice for them, let them go to school, be a high achiever? I beg.
So Ben, let me ask you the question. Let me ask you this. Then
Yes.
why did you ask the question then? Why ask the question? You ask, is it an achievement?
Yes.
If now, from what you're saying, it is an achievement, then why ask the question? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just curious.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Mr. Dyer, you want to say something real quick?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
My sister Rose, I think Uncle Ben is just speaking his own side of the story. He's just making his own point. And I believe exactly what he said is 100% correct, because everything is sacrifice. When you are married and you are in that marriage, you are doing a lot of sacrifice, both parties, both the man and the woman. Marriage is all about sacrifice. So it's not something that somebody should just come out and say it's not an achievement. To some people, it is an achievement, because some people yearn for this thing. They want to be loved. They want somebody to love them, and they want to be in a relationship, and they cannot stay out of it. So they sacrifice everything to keep that relationship. And if it works out for them, they have achieved their purpose. Are you getting it? So when he asked that question, He wanted to hear people's opinion about it so that he can be able to have a balanced judgment, which I think he has been able to achieve. So that's where we are.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I get the point that he's making, and what he's saying isn't incorrect. But again, he asked the question, and then maybe a better way to phrase the question is, do you consider it an achievement? Now, and I think Sister Natsu said it very well. It depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
For some people it is an achievement. For some people it isn't. But because one person doesn't see, okay, you can get it. You remember you talked about the degree. Oh, okay, let's even go to the money, the issue of money. When you asked the question about being a millionaire, some people see that having a lot of money, it's a major achievement to a lot of people. You talk to another person, depending on where they are in life and what they see, it's not an achievement. It's no big deal. It doesn't mean anything. So I think it depends. Achievement is it's subjective. There's no right or wrong answer. It is what it is to each particular human being. And if a person feels that it's an achievement, that's good for them. Now, this Samulo, because I'm seeing his comments here, you're all in your feelings. You need to get out of your feelings. Nobody is, the reason where people say things are not an achievement, most of the time that's a defense mechanism. It's married people trying to stunt on single people, trying to show off on them. So when you want to stunt off on them or claim your superiority or your better than-ness, that's when they come at you at that. But most of the time, these people leave you alone. They mind their own business. Because whether your marriage is good or bad, some of these people are then they really don't care. But when I came back to what I was telling you about Nigeria and human beings in general, always trying to stunt on someone else. I am better than you. I have this over you. And then if you are married, is your wife a doctor? Is she a lawyer? How many children do you have? Is this trying to claim superiority on the other person? So the comments that you're making about people being single, claiming that married people are unhappy, then it's vice versa. Leave the single people alone, because I can guarantee you a lot of single people are minding their own business, and then other people are negating them.
Absolutely.
Another thing that you said, Ben, I don't negate people's sacrifice. You're right. A lot of sacrifice is made. And for the people who can endure it and deal with it, God bless them. Ben, some people can't. Some people can't. And you see all kinds of horrors that happen. I think it was Daya who put something. I even thought we were going to discuss it. Remember the 50-year-old woman who says she didn't marry? It was we were discussing it in the back. Okay. And she talked about where the father, the last child they had, when the mother was pregnant with that child, she stayed married 24 years old. That the last child that they were pregnant, they said the man was stepping on her stomach, beating her and stepping on her stomach. I wish if he could repost it, because I didn't know if you saw it. 24 years in marriage, from beginning to end, the man not only treated them badly, the mother badly, they treated the daughters badly. 24 years. 24 years of misery. Ben, is that, you have daughters, you've got 2 daughters. I've seen 2 of your daughters. The youngest one is so adorable. Would you want, for the sake of this marriage, your daughter being something like that? Some people find themselves in that situation, Ben, all in the name of the honorable institution of marriage. I don't think you would want that, Ben.
Of course, I don't want that, and I don't think they will end up with that. And that will lead me to the next we want to talk about now, where we start addressing this Biola situation. I'm just waiting for you to finish, Sister Rose. Sister Rose, are you done?
No, no, I pretty much finished. I keep saying this over and over again. I don't think people are understanding, because if you take a position, they think you're against the position. I don't negate marriage. I don't negate singlehood. I don't promote marriage. I don't promote singlehood.
Not you, Sister Rose. I've never even seen you talk to anybody about marriage. I think this is the only platform I've heard you spoke about anything. And
No,
then,
just because of the same thing you're talking about, the same thing that you said. You talk about things like this. People are not capable of seeing both sides. I see both people's sides, but
yeah.
then you have people who want to get angry and because maybe their position is not being elevated.
Yeah, thank you. No, we just have to have these are matured conversation. You can't hear this type of conversation in most platform. I'm sorry, because it will end in basketballs and it will be fight. So that's why a lot of people keep it inside. They don't express themselves about some things. If they are going to talk at all, they will tell people what they want to hear. They will tell people what they want to hear. So we are on this social media game together now. For me, it depends on the set of people. If I see that the people that are on a platform, they are receptive, they are matured, they can handle it, then we have that conversation together. But if the people are like, no, they are one-sided, we go there, we do the one-sided. If like I said, now if I did some platform now, would this kind of thing come out and say, no, me, if I call in, I mean, go date the table. Marriage is not achievement. Marriage, forget about it. Don't stress yourself. It's not achievement. Nothing good about it, because that is what they want to hear. So that's the point. But thank you, Sister Rose, and thank you everybody for at least having that maturity to participate in a very crucial conversation like this. Now let's go to the next one real quick. I even like the fact that we know to play it like today. Distraction, no play it. If my girl dey here now, see CB, she go down, they blow me since.
Welcome to the African Podcast, your go-to destination for infotainment, trending updates, and thought-provoking social commentary.
All right. So let's talk about this Biola. And please, like I've always said, many of these celebrities, they have a life, they are human, they are living their life. The life just kind of like dish them a very distasteful dish. I'm sorry, because they are celebrities, their issues, their private issue usually end up on social media. But whenever I'm talking about any topic and I bring celebrity, we are just using that celebrity as an anchor. That whatever is affecting them is affecting millions of people. So the conversation have to center around what lessons can we get out of it. So, like Trendy Tosin said earlier on when we discussed this lady, she was married. She's a Yoruba actress. She's doing fantastic, and I think Sister Yinka actually attests to her character. I saw when I went back to check the chat on the previous show we had, I saw Sister Yinka was actually vouching for her, that she has a very, very good attitude. She's a level-headed woman, and that whatever is the reason for her leaving that marriage, Sister Yinka actually said she support her 100%. Sister Yinka, I hope you still stand on that same affirmation. No. All right. So this lady, apparently, she, according to what I gathered, she has been married once, and this is her second marriage. And this second marriage only lasted, did they say it is 3 years? They said the second marriage is 3 years. And then according to what she shared on her social media handle, she said for 14 months, she cried herself to sleep. So that tells a lot. As for me, I like when we say, let us hear the other side of the story. But sometimes we may never get to hear the other side of the story. All we can do is to let us just, can I say, extrapolate what is going on based on the information they drop out there. Or what's this word I'm looking for now? Speculate. We can just speculate on the basis of the information they release. So everything she wrote, like I said earlier, I don't think she posted that message to actually wish her ex-husband happy birthday. I think she shared that message to tell people that I am single again, oh, and I'm ready, oh, if anybody is available. And she just used it, women, she just used that birthday as a cover-up. But the part of her message that got me is, for 14 months, I cried on my pillow or I cried myself to sleep, my brain goes da-da-dan. Then I do the maths. If you've been married for 3 years and 14 months, you cried yourself to sleep. 3 years is that not 36 weeks? So 36 minus 14, meaning for 22 months, maybe the marriage is sweet or somehow, but for 14 months, it's fire for fire. And then she said she has been separated from her husband since April last year. This is June. So that means she has been separated from her husband for 13 months. 13 months. So here is what I want to talk about. First off, I don't blame her. I don't blame her husband because I don't know what went down. But my instinct tells me that for her to cry herself to sleep for 14 months, one, the husband did not truly love her. Two, the husband is possibly cheating on her. Three, there is something about her character that made the marriage not to work. Please hear me out again. Oh. Number one, the husband did not truly love her. Number two, the husband possibly cheated on her. And number three, there is something about her character that might lead to her husband treating her the way he did. So when we were having the conversation earlier, we spoke about a couple of things that I want to highlight right now. Yeah, we spoke about a couple of things. One of the things that caught my attention is this: marital pressure. That is where I went on a rant earlier. I'm so sorry for me just expressing myself. So marital pressure. Looking at this lady's marriage, she's been married first. It ends in divorce. She married second time. She had a baby through surrogacy. And if she married the third time, the marriage is 3 years. And she had a baby through surrogacy. Surrogacy is the one where another woman have to carry the baby to term, right? Am I right? So, meaning in that 22 months, prior to the 14 months that she has been, prior to the 13 months that she has been separated, in that 22 months, 9 out of that 22 months, someone else is carrying her baby. Now, I'm sorry to all the Yorubas that may be listening and others. There are a couple of things that I think women should look out for when you want to get married. The tribe that man is coming from is key. The tribe matters a lot. You have to make sure you investigate that tribe. And when I say tribe, for instance, we have Yorubas, and Yoruba has 6 states. Each Yoruba, we are different. Again, that is another thing you should know. And Ondo Yoruba is different from an Ekiti Yoruba. Ekiti Yoruba is different from Lagos Yoruba. Lagos is different from Oyo and Ibadan. Ibadan is different from Ogun State. Each Yoruba state has their own unique cultural practices and beliefs. These things are very, very important. And if you are dealing with a Yoruba man, for instance, and you do not pay attention to where he comes from, you might be missing on some crucial information. I don't know where this man comes from, but I know generally speaking, I will advise women that if you know you have issue, or you are still waiting on the Lord and you are believing God for the fruit of the womb, if you want to marry, I honestly will tell you, there are Yoruba men that will marry you and stay faithful with you. But you see, the issue of childbearing, it runs deep in Yoruba. Surrogacy, adoption, these are perfect options for anybody. IVF, they are all perfect options for people. I support it 100%. But there are some Yoruba core values that for the people who believe in those deep-rooted values, they still want to have a child that is conceived naturally. So please, I'm saying this so that if you are dealing with a Yoruba, you need to have some deep conversation around these things. So I don't know whatever is their problem, but with the little information we have out there, so let's start with this issue of marital pressure. Just like we did with the high achiever thing, we need to demystify this first. Nowadays, another very common rhetorics on social media is, don't let people pressure you. Nigerian culture, they will pressure you. Go and marry. They will pressure you. My question is, what classified as pressure and what is not a pressure? So let me start with this question, and then I will open it for everybody to have their own monologue. How do you separate a good advice from maybe a parent or a friend from a bad advice when it comes to marital pressure? If you want me to give an example, I can give an example, but let's start with that. What differentiates, what stand as a marital pressure? Maybe I should give an example for us to have something to work with. Sister Rose, should I do that?
Go ahead.
Give an example?
No,
All
go
right.
ahead. Good.
Okay, so just like I asked Sister Grace earlier on, look at it this way. If you have a 30 years old daughter or son, this son is doing amazing, is done with school, he's a professional, he got good job, good money, everything, 30 years old, no husband, she has not brought anybody home, you don't even have an inclination, the direction her life is going. The same thing for boys. He's 30 years old. He don't finish school. He don't finish masters. He got a great job working in oil industry, money day. Guy is killing it. $150K, $200K a year. 30 years old. As a parent, as a senior sister or a senior brother, would you have a conversation with them about getting married? And would you consider having such conversation as marital pressure? Let's start from there, Sister Rose. Over to you.
Then
I think most people would have that discussion. They would, depending on what it is. That discussion can come up, like asking. At the same time, another thing comes to mind. Does this person want to be married? Are we pushing this person to be in a union that they want to be? So yes, it's an important discussion. It's a concern for many people in many cultures. One may or may not have it, but also while having that discussion, is there any consideration to, does this person even want to be married to begin with? That's one aspect of it. Okay. Are they finding or seeing what they want? That's another aspect of it. If there's this concern, those are the things that come to mind. I don't know, Ben, if that's satisfactory, but that's just what comes to my mind in terms of what you're asking.
It sounds satisfactory, but you said something that my coconut head, they push me, say make I talk. Say you know go punch me, Sister Rose.
No, I'm open-minded.
Why do we as Africans always have this urge to say, do you want to be married? I'm sorry, I can't wrap my head around it.
I don't think Africans.
Can I answer that question, please, if you don't mind?
Let Sister Rose finish.
Yes.
I'll come to you now. Go ahead.
Ben, to be very honest with you, from knowing what I know of Africans, I don't even think they ask that question. I'm just asking that question because I think a little differently. Normally, Africans don't ask that. That is an expectation. But to answer your question honestly, and what I see in today's world and in the modern world, that is something I would throw in there. Does this person want to be married? But I don't think Africans even ask that question because it's an expectation.
Okay. Okay. Dr. Adama, over to you.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings, Sister Rose, Mr. Dio, Life with
Good
Natu,
evening.
and Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben, your question is so I don't even know what to start. But the point is, let's make one thing clear.
Mm-hmm.
When you live in a society where you are judged by what your status is in that society,
Mm-hmm.
this is what end up happening. In other words, what I'm trying to say here is this. You made a comment at the first part one you made. You said when a woman gets to a certain age and she's not been married or she's married
Sorry,
and has got.
Dr. Adama. I just want to excuse myself for just 1 minute. So carry on. Where you done, Sister Rose and Mr. Dio can continue. I already have my Bluetooth so I can hear your submission. Go ahead, ma.
So my thing is we need to stop putting this stigma or putting this pressure or on anyone. You said something, you gave an example. If your daughter comes or if you have a child and you see that person not getting married, one thing I want to realize is when you push someone to do something, when that thing doesn't go as what they think it should be, they will end up blaming you for it. Why can't we allow anybody, male, female, to do their own thing at their own time and when they feel they're ready for it? For example, marriage is not a joke. Marriage is not a relationship. Marriage is not something you wake up and you say you want to go into it. No, you have to be willing to adjust, tolerate that person, be patient, and at the same time compromise. But when we start making marriage in our African culture a do or die affair, this is the result. And we wonder why we have such a high rate in divorce because we pressure both men and women to go into marriage without asking, are these two adults ready to do this? So I think that's what we need to really look at and ask, why is it that our marriage are not lasting the way they should? And we need to understand one thing. I respect those that are culture, traditional. I have no problem with it. That's who they are. But at the same time, let us respect people for maintaining whatever status they want to maintain. We have women these days who are saying, I don't want children. So, how does someone not wanting children or not wanting to be married, how does it affect panel? It doesn't affect any one of us. So, the point I'm trying to make, please, let us tone down that pressure when it comes to women and they come to a certain age, including with career, we start looking at them like, why are you still single? Because what you don't know is that every one of us, we've been through stuff. We have a trauma that we're trying to deal with, like handle, and at the same time, be in a positive state. And I am not one to encourage people, listen, get married because Nneka has gotten married, this person has gotten married, you're the only one left. No. Leave people alone because marriage is not a certificate that you're going to heaven. Because the truth of the matter is, if we are to take an inventory or do a study of African marriage back home. When I say African marriage back home, I'm not talking about Nigeria. I'm talking of the whole Africa. You will be alarmed with the percentage of people that will tell you they are unhappy being married. Because you know why? Women have learned to stay in a marriage whether they feel fulfilled or not, but because of what society will put on them, and at the same time make them feel like they are worthless, they rather stay in that marriage and be managing instead of staying in that marriage because they know they are genuinely happy. I am with this person because I know this person and I can build a future together. Thank
All
you.
right. All right, Dr. Adama. Thank you for that, your take, but you did not address the question we are addressing right now, which is what is marital pressure? Because
Marital pressure, okay, Uncle Ben, marital pressure is exactly what you are doing, which is what you did in your first show that came on this afternoon. You
okay,
said when a woman reach a certain age, or when a woman has gone through divorce, one, two, and she's looking for a third marriage, she's automatically the problem. Who are you to judge her, not knowing what that person is going through? Is the pressure we're talking about? Is that African tradition we are talking about? Why does someone have to get married at a particular age or at a certain level in their life? Why can't we allow them to make that decision without imposing our views or culture on them?
let me give you this simple pushback. Maybe it will clarify what I was saying. First off, let me clear something. What I said is if a woman or a man is married, I'm not doing this gender specific, say, oh, let's say woman. I don't care, because the same thing I saw in women, I'm seeing the same thing in men. If we want to lie, now we go to say, oh, now woman, now it's happening to both of them. And that's why I'm always saying this. I'm not saying about women, we go for both men and women. It's the same thing for me. What I said is, if this sister, Biola or whatever, I don't know how that deep down, she got married the first time, she divorced, married the second time, it ends in divorce. I said, if she married the third time and ends in divorce, the problem is her.
How do you know the problem is hers? Who are you to say that?
Oh, see, Dr. Dana, we are having this conversation.
Uh-huh.
That is my own view.
And I respect your
Maybe,
view, but at the same
maybe wrong.
time, if
But
a
let me,
man get divorced for 4 times, he never gets picked on in the African tradition.
maybe,
That
no,
same,
no,
but hold on, Uncle Ben.
maybe they don't want to tell him. My own, even as a man, look, for me, I have somebody here. We know even they talk now, safe. He's been married twice, now man. He don't marry twice, divorced twice. And one day we were talking, and then they run him out, anyhow. The third woman, when he could go carry come now, unknown to him, that one don't already they ask people how he go fit take escape. And when we were talking, I need to run him out. I just tell him straight up, I say, bros, you get village people problem. He said, wow. I said, let me just tell you, because all these other people, they are deceiving you. Anytime they start the conversation, everybody will descend on those women. Oh, you know, when you bring their candies abroad, once they go to school, they'll do. When he was saying, I just tell him straight up, I said, bros, you have bigger problem. These people, they are fooling you. If that's one verse, I say, well, I said my own, if you verse, you know verse. But if you truly want to fix your life together, listen to me. There is something about you that is sending these women away. The first one where you marry her for US, the thing no last, it crash. You go Nigeria, go bring the second one come. The same thing, it crash. Look, in Western world there, we have a small community with the hear things. Now, the third one where you go carry come again, you just fight for them. That one they expect when the paper go clear everything. You are already frustrating this one now. You don't define how you go take run. And when we went deep down, because at the point, since they don't say me, if I like you, then I go talk. If I don't believe fancy what's going on, I go keep quiet. We go drink, we go deceive each other, go house. And then the best way they mature there, now I go say, okay, Ben, what exactly do you see? Why? I say, okay, bros, Sheme, we talk. And say, okay, let us talk. Because these women, they are wicked. Now I say, no, the women are not wicked. Listen, bros, every weekend, at that time, I they go out where for Austin here. I do coverage, do everything almost every week. I don't do coverage. I date town from Friday, Saturday, even Sunday. We still get hang out on Sundays. I say, bros, every weekend, Fridays, you are out drinking. We get what do we call it? African club here in Austin. Those African club, now after we don't go downtown, our Oyinbo club close at 2 a.m. By that time, we club close at 2 a.m., that's when we go to African club. You go come out Friday, we go Africa, go downtown, everything. Then we go to African club. You go there until 4 a.m. Saturday, the same thing. Sunday again, men hang out. You are there. You know they bring any of these women come. 3 good solid days. So I asked him, when you are out like that, where do you think your wife think you are? He's like, oh, really? I'm a man. Yo, you mean I have to report? I said, bro, it's not about that. You are married. This is abroad. We walk around the clock. But I've been seeing you now, not be today. We know you are married, but you know the only time we get to see you and this woman now when we get party. Maybe wedding or something. Everybody will have to call. That's the only time you come. But any other thing, you are out. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What do you think the woman? Where do you think the woman think you are? And by the time you come out like this, you are drunk. You will not be woman now. Tell me, you're dealing with a man that comes home smelling of drink every day. Friday, Saturday, so your husband, he don't marry home for this abroad. Then I told him again, you are risking yourself. We live in America. One day, although I give you credit, when you are drunk like that, you carry Uber, go house. But one day, you go home, because when you carry Uber like that, you go leave the motor where it is. One day, you go home, maybe Uber no quick come, you go enter your motor, you go drive, police go stop you. Now you are ruined. So you are the problem.
But no, Uncle Ben, listen to me, okay?
The bashman, if a woman too, you marry first husband, no work, my second husband, you marry the third, no work, you are the problem. Go work on yourself. That's what I said. Over to you, my sister.
Oh, Uncle Ben, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mama.
This is what I want you to understand what I'm saying, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you bring the same energy when it comes to men that have been married 1, 2, 3, 4 times? I feel like the society jobs the women a whole lot than the men.
I agree on that one.
When men do it, it's like, oh, it's normal. He's not happy. He has the right to walk out. He doesn't feel respected. But when a woman does it, the first thing we are quick to do is count how many mistakes they have made. And this is one thing I want to remind every one of us. None of us are qualified to judge any human being, because God has not given us the barometer for us to measure what sin and what the expectation of a human being should be. Because you know why? It goes back to what I am saying. When you grow up in a culture where we do not acknowledge trauma, past trauma, and we do not talk about things. When something happened, everybody just to keep we keep quiet. Most people want to keep quiet and allow that thing to just face away. At the end of the day, this lady, we are looking at her picture, this Abolu or whatever her name is, Adeolu. I don't want to mention her name wrongly.
Mm-hmm.
She was bold enough.
Biola or something.
Adiola, she was bold enough to come tell the public that, oh, look, I have been separated from my husband since April this thing. Do you know why I commend her? Let me tell you why I really commend and celebrate her. She maintained her privacy. She maintained it, because what we see these days on social media are people coming to the public space to wash their dirty laundries. Why you, Rose, Sister Natu, Brother Dyer, we don't care about. All you guys are giving us is content and something to discuss, which is what we're doing here. Okay? And it goes back to this thing I'm saying, and we need to be honest. And I said this to you, Uncle Ben. Let us do a study on our marriage in Africa. You will be shocked. Where if you tell the women anything you disclose or say or check off will remain private, you will be shocked at the percentage of people who are married, who are genuinely in that marriage because they want to be in it. Most of this marriage, you have women who are married because of financial stability. We have women that are married because they don't want to be judged. by society because they are single.
Okay,
We have
Dr.
women
Adama,
that stay in the marriage because they have and share a child with that person. Oh, I don't want my children to go grow in a one person home.
Dr.
And at
Adama,
the
I have
end
a
of the day,
question for you.
hmm?
When you land, I have one quick question for you so that we can move on. When you
Okay.
land,
Okay, so when I said this thought thing about they don't want a child to be raised in a single father home, but at the end of the day, the mistake we make and we never ask is how is this woman doing? And why is she putting up with it? Nobody, including you or me. But I bet maybe you do. I do not like staying in a relationship or be in with someone that I don't feel fulfilled. It's just the truth.
okay, we've heard all that, Dr. Adama. The question I wanted to ask you is this: when people you are, don't worry, you can answer, you cannot answer because the question get us be. As a medical practitioner, you are treating somebody with let me just use something as simple as high blood pressure. This person drink alcohol at least almost every day. The person smoke at least one pack of cigarette every day. And that person comes to you. You are treating him and you discover all this in his history. You advise that person to stop drinking alcohol and smoking. The person left. You come back again, the same situation, he's still drinking and smoking. Will you tell them that this alcohol you are drinking and this smoking is putting your life at risk? You are at risk for stroke, you are at risk for heart attack. Will you tell them? Or you will just tell them, Mr. John, maybe you can just turn it down a little bit, or maybe instead of drinking hot alcohol, you can just do some wine, or you will just tell them in all honesty that these are the risks involved in this lifestyle of yours. That's my question first, because it relates to what we are saying now. Because all I heard is when I hear people say, oh, don't talk about it, leave it is their life. Oh, don't talk about it, let people do what they want to do. Waiting me at the here be say, no, let everybody just do what they want. Don't call it out. That's what I'm hearing, my sister. So, would you like to answer that? If you don't want to answer,
Yes,
don't.
I would like to answer that, and I
Yeah,
appreciate you asking me that question. Okay.
yeah, all right.
You said when someone is, you said something about being sick, and you're telling them what they need to do about their lifestyle, like stop something and stuff like that. Is like reduce or give them a medical advice. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Will you
So
tell
my
them, or you will
okay,
just think you don't want to judge them? I can't
mm-hmm,
judge them. Because if you tell them that alcohol and this your high blood pressure, because one, if you are drinking alcohol, you are not even supposed to be taking blood pressure medication because those two don't interact, Abby. They don't go well.
mm-hmm,
Eh.
mm-hmm.
So will you tell them the truth that you are at risk for stroke, heart attack, or you might
Mm-hmm.
even die? Will you tell them, or you will just say, don't judge him, don't tell him? What will you do?
Okay, first, I deal with each of my patients based on an individual whatever they have going on. So will I tell my patient, yes, I will tell my patient, but this is what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to babysit my patients. Neither am I going to. My job is to advise you and give you the danger, the pros and cons of not doing what I suggest you do. Because as soon as you leave that hospital, go into your private home, I don't know what you do there. And
Okay.
what you do there is frankly none of my business. So the point I am trying to make here is this. You can advise an adult as much as you can. And that's why they say this. Opinion is like an ass. Everybody has one. But
Mhm.
what makes your opinion relevant or someone listening to it is when they make a decision and say, I don't agree with Dr. Dama that much, but what she's saying is making sense. I would like to apply whatever she recommended into my life in order for me to do it. But when you have someone who comes and says openly to you, everybody is going to die, this is going to happen, I just want to live the best of my life. Ben, do you think I have accomplished anything by advising that person?
I don't know. It all depends on how you look at it, my sister.
And I'm telling you, when a grown ass adult, I cannot force you and tell you you need to drink this water.
Mm.
You, as an adult, need to make up your mind and know you're drinking this water because your body needs it.
All right. All right. Thank you. That's your opinion. I respect it. One of the things I've always said is that for me, I'm a consequentialist. Everybody get their own different approach. And my being consequentialist is coming from how I was raised. I've told my story here quite some time. I was raised by my uncle. I spent almost 2.5 years, reach theory with my uncle. That 2.5 years has a very significant impact in my life to date. My uncle teaches people with consequences. My uncle don't have the time to go back and forth with you. My uncle will tell you, if you are moving this way, these are the possible outcome. If you want to go right, these are the possible outcome. Choose your poison. Now, if you move the other way that led into negative outcome, don't even cry, come out, come in, my uncle. My uncle will beat nonsense out of you. Just deal with your shit there. That is where I'm coming from. It's the same approach I use in almost everything, even at my work or anywhere, even my friends, everybody, they already know me. If you call me about an issue and you ask me, Ben, what is your take on this thing? I will tell you, this is my take, and this is why I say it this way. I will give you what I think may be the possible outcome of this path you are following. So, how is this relevant to the conversation we are having right now? People hate accountability and consequences. And what I'm hearing mostly, especially like you say, Dr. Adama, now that, oh, don't judge people. It's not judging. What I'm hearing mostly is like a parent who don't call out their children BS because the children will get in her emotion. And then the children continue to live their life until they become a failure, and then it becomes a problem to the parent. So
So
let me
Ben,
flip this
excuse me,
again.
Ben. So
Yes.
then, because there was a that you were going somewhere with that question, and I think you kind of are going around it carefully because so as not to annoy any person. But what I'm going to ask you to make it easier for you, and you can speak it just the way we're speaking our mind. You have a right to state your opinion. What would you have advised her to do? Where did she go wrong from your standpoint? What did you see that she because you said what would as a parent you advise or discussion, so what would you tell her? What do you think that she did wrong?
You see this lady right now? To be candid with you, like I said when we started, I really honestly don't know anything about her. I can only speculate based on what I've seen happen in other people's marriage. So I really don't have any advice for her, but I can advise people who are younger. And that's why we're having this show. I don't get advice for her. This is a grown adult. She's 43 years old. Which advice I won't give her? I don't have advice for her, but I can advise people who are still in their 28, 30, 35. I can advise them so that they may not experience the same thing, Sister Rose.
Okay, so Ben, what would that be? What would that advice be for the 28-year or 27 or 22? What would that be?
Excellent question, Sister Rose. Now, if I have to advise a 28, 30 years old, welcome, Sister Ify. If I have to advise a 28, 30 years old, I'm going to start with this. Let me start this comment first. I will come back to it. Thank you, Abiri Olanike. You're welcome, my sister. So let me start so I can come back to it. So if I have to advise a 28, 30 years old, I will start with this marital pressure. I will explain what constitute marital pressure and what do not constitute marital pressure. Because this is where I see that we are failing this generation that are coming because after us now. This generation, we are so scared to talk to them. We don't want to talk. Let's keep quiet. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't say, don't talk. And that's why they're making mistakes. So I will start. What constitutes marital pressure or not? So let's look at this. If you are a 26 years old going 30, by 26, you are supposed to have done with your first degree. The question now is, at these 26 years old, do you already have somebody that you are dating and you are both serious? If you are dating somebody that you are both not serious with each other, or you are already seeing red flags in that relationship, cut that shit off immediately. That is what I would tell a 26 years old. The same goes to a 28 years old. Now, if the 26 years old, well, actually, I'm in a committed relationship, but I still want to further my degree. I want to go for my master's, everything. I will tell the 28 years old, is this guy serious with you? Do you trust him? Do you guys have chemistry? How much do you know about him? If you guys are both serious, I would tell that 26, 28 years old that as you are going for your master's, you guys should be talking about how you want to settle down now. Now it sounds harsh to some people. Now, if this my advice is seen as marital pressure, that is where wahala dey. Because me as a man who is in my late 40s now, I've already seen live. I've already seen that if she meets with that guy, and if not boy, where they deal with girl, if he meets the girl, he might struggle to find another one. Because by the time you are done with that master's, your level don't change. With every level comes another challenge when it comes to this romantic game. So if I'm talking to a 30 years old, I will be honest with that 30 years old. I will tell the 30 years old, you are 30. Are you in a serious and committed relationship? Are you like, oh, uncle, look, there are no serious men out there. Or if not, boy, they tell you, uncle, what these girls out here now? Nah, these girls, they're not it, uncle. I'm still taking my time. I will tell them straight off, you are 30. Before you know it, you're going to be counting 35. If you know you have not found anybody who is serious and you are not in a committed relationship, are you willing and ready to talk about what really went down? Tell me about your last relationship. Why do you think this girl is not the right one for you? Tell me about your second relationship. What really went down? Let's start breaking it down now, so that if him as a boy is the problem, if there is something in his character that makes those relationships not working, let's start fixing that shit now. That's what I would advise. Now, if my advice comes off as marital pressure, we have a problem. If it's a girl who is 30 years old, I will say the same thing. Okay? That's why I love this, my baby girl, Simbi. Oh, I like Simbi well. Simbi is she's just in her 30s now. And Simbi, I've gone through some shit also. And when she shared with me, and the way she was talking everything, I listened. I think that day, she and I, we spoke for like 4 good hours. When she told me everything, I started telling her, Simbi, you don't make any mistake. Oh, you are good. Nothing is wrong with you. You are a perfect girl. But how about you consider this, we consider that? After like a week, Simbi came back and said, Uncle Ben, thank you. I think about what you said again. Oh, Uncle Ben, thank you. Nobody has told me this thing before. Now, I just want to leave it at that. The point I'm trying to make is the young girls and boys we have now in this current time, especially in this abroad, these are children that grew up not having the capacity to stand the truth. They are not good at listening to parents telling them they effed up when they effed up. You tell them they effed up, they see you as enemy. They see you as, no, that's too much. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear that. And then what happened to our parents? Parents now started saying, no, let's just find a way to go about it. Oh, let's just... Then when they go out, they will now begin to have issue with people calling out their excesses. So that's what is happening, Sister Rose. So that's why I'm of this opinion that If we first of all can differentiate what constitutes marital pressure and what is not marital pressure, then we are heading the right way. But if we have to go by, when you mention marriage, when you tell people who is 33 that, look, start working on yourself, If you are growing older and you are not attracting committed relationship, or you are growing older, you are attracting certain type of women or men. And this certain type of men or women, you can even see them just 6 months, 1 year into dating them. You can already see that, I don't think I can stand this guy, this girl, I don't think I can stand this behavior. And you meet the next one, you have to start looking at yourself. There is something about you that is either attracting all these mad people. There is something about you that is making this relationship not working. Now, if you can figure out yourself, then it is very, very easy for you to figure out who is coming for you, whether they are genuine or not. So that's what I'm saying, Sister Rose. I don't know if I make sense to you, but I think
What you're saying,
differentiating between marital pressure and what is not marital pressure, I think is key. Go ahead, man.
what you're saying is there's absolutely nothing wrong in what you're saying. That those are everything that you expressed. I don't think that that's marital pressure. I think that's parents taking being responsible parents and getting involved in their children's life. There's nothing wrong with that. Those questions should be had. Those things need to be examined in a person's personal trait. But Ben, where I slightly disagree with you, you're right. You're not wrong at all. But where I slightly disagree with you, Ben, it can now go past the area of advice into the threshold of pressure, because now you're saying if the person attracts these bad people or this, or they don't have this, then there's something wrong with you. There may not be something wrong with you. The pool that you're selecting with may be, I'm not speaking in absolutes, maybe the situation is not there. Now, let me put one social dynamic. It's the best social dynamic I can put. I can't really talk so much for Nigeria, but let's look at it in a place like in America. And this is facts. The data is there. Everyone talks about it. Educated Black women. And I know there's more than education, Ben, please. I know there's more to it than education. I know there is character. I know there is good behavior. Everyone has said this. White men have said it. Spanish men have said it. They've said that the Black American woman is the backbone of the Black American society. She does everything. These women genuinely want good men. They're not there. And they've backed it up on so many levels. So now you're having this discussion. Very good discussion. I have no criticism on what you said. You're correct. There are realities that it might be hard to face, but we need to have them. But then, Ben, where it becomes pressure, now, she has to get someone. If she doesn't get someone now, we're using that as as the metric system of her quality. So fine, I got to get someone. Ben, people have followed that metric system that you're saying. I understand your point. I'm not criticizing you, but you are telling, look at it. You want to make an apple pie, right? You know what is apple pie?
Yeah.
Okay. Made out of apples. Now they give you a bushel of rotten apples, but you got to pick from that. There's not much to pick from. So then you push this person into something. Is everybody that way? We know everybody's not that way. There are people who will get the good marriage. There are people who will follow this advice you're talking about, and they will get good people. But Ben, what about the one who falls into there's just nothing here, or nothing I'm compatible with, or it looks great, it's manageable. Yeah, okay, I'll take him. I don't really like him, but I got to be married. And then these empty marriages. I think that's where we go in from good advice to now it's becoming pressure.
Agreed. I will come back to that, but let Sister Ify chime in real quick, and then we'll go to Uncle Dayo so that he can go to sleep. Sister Ify, hello? Is Sister Ify still here? Sister Ify, can you hear me?
Yes, Uncle Daya, you can go.
Okay.
Okay,
Mr.
thank you so
Dayo,
much.
go ahead.
Yeah, go. It's too late. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Sister Ivy. There is something that I like about all what you've been saying so far. However, when we are talking about marital pressure, before I talk about that, I quickly want to make a small pushback on what you have said earlier on. Because we seem to have neglected a particular angle to the whole discussion so far. We are talking about reasons why people are going to what Uncle Ben said. I quite agree with him, but there's an aspect that he did not mention. Most times, or sometimes, or maybe on some few occasions, not getting married or not getting settled on time in marriage is not really anybody's fault. It's not the lady's fault. It's not the man's fault. We Africans, we know what happened over here. It may be village people issue. We know, particularly people that came from a kind of this polygamous background. One particular member of family does not want the children of the other member of family to progress. They don't want them to have a happy marriage. They don't want them to settle down. It's not as if they are not making it. It's not as if they are not meeting the right people. But somehow, they are being attacked by all these evil vices around us. We are Africans. We know exactly what I am talking about. We have not considered that aspect before we can say, okay, this person is 35, is 40, is 45, he or she is not married, blah, blah, blah. And we start talking as if, okay, or he or she has married once, twice, thrice, and everything still go back the same way. So that means there's something wrong with the person. You may be right, because something may be wrong with the person, but it may not be due to that person's effort. It may be due to some village people trying to frustrate the life out of that person. That's just number one. And then when we're talking about marital pressure can be seen from any angle of somebody that is doing his or her best to get something done, but because of one thing or the other, he has not been able to achieve it. But naturally, before you can tell me to be pressure, you must be able to understand when somebody is advising you from a good place, having care and love for you, wanting your life to be better, and the person calls you and talks to you, you don't see it as pressure. You see it as good advice. Because sometimes when people talk to us about some things that maybe we are not even thinking about, or maybe we are not really serious about, we generally take it as pressure. No, it is not. Because we must be able to realize that everybody that meant well for you will be looking out for your well-being. And then we Africans, our own social security is by empowering one another. In the Western world, they may not have, you have credit cards, you have your whatever, you have your social, what do you call this, your social security card.
Social
But
security.
our own social security in Africa is invested in other people's life, either financially, either socially, either psychologically, trying to help ourselves to get better. So
Yeah.
in doing that, some people may see it as being pressured to do what they are not really ready to do yet. So we need to balance this. So when we are talking about what we consider to be marital pressure, one has to strike a balance from which angle is this person talking from. Is it from the fact that he or she cares for me, like a mother, or maybe like a father? You see your children has already grown up to that marital age. Nobody can force you to marry. It's like taking a horse to the river. You can force a horse to the river, but you cannot. If a child doesn't want to get married, you can't force him or her to do so. But that does not mean that they will not talk. They will talk, they will advise. So if you see it as pressure, well, to you it is pressure, but to them, they're just doing their own obligation as parents, or maybe as siblings, or maybe as family member to try to guide you or help you into doing something better. But if you don't want it, you don't want it.
Yeah.
No,
So that
you know something. I agree with everything Sister I'm sorry, Brother Dyer said. I do see his point wholeheartedly, and that's why I said to you, Ben. I see what you're saying. I do agree. You have to talk. These are discussions that people have. They talk, and it's the correct thing to have. I don't see anything wrong in what you're saying. And there was something Brother Dyer said that I tell a lot of Americans here when I talk to them, like they don't understand certain things we do. And I told them, listen, in America, you got unemployment insurance, food stamps, all these different social systems that the government supplies to you. We don't have that in Africa. In Africa, our social security is family. So I totally believe, please do not think I am oblivious to this. That's why I said, Ben, you are correct. You have to talk to people about these things. Family is important. The only reason I have some pushback, Ben, is because in the quest to create this great life that we want, that is not wrong, that you have to be strategic about. Sometimes now we get into dangerous zones that we've seen many women go into, like the one we talked about, striving so hard to be in a marriage, working hard, but all she's getting is pain. But there's nothing wrong in asking. Those are very important questions to ask because you're older, you're wiser, so you want to put the person in the right direction.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Dio, thank you very much. So anytime you want to go to bed, you can go. Thank you, Baba, because we are rounding up gradually. Sister Ify, let's have your take, Sister Ify. I don't know if you were here when we started. We discussed a couple of things. We started with is marriage an achievement or not? Then I asked again, would you consider being single an achievement? And then we moved there to other things. But since we're talking about this lady now, we're talking about is marital pressure. What is marital pressure? Because my take is that if you cannot differentiate between what constitutes marital pressure and what constitutes a good advice on time, then we will be confused. So your take, my sister.
Let's take it one at a time. Hi, everybody.
Hi, sister.
Is marriage
Hello,
good evening. Is marriage an achievement?
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is not an achievement.
Okay.
Marriage is not an achievement. I don't think it needs any explanation. It's a choice. Let's understand that. Marriage is a choice. In as much as let me not say every woman, no. We would like to, majority of women want to get married. But it's not an achievement. So you choose if you want to marry or if you want to remain single. That's your choice. So I don't think I have any more to say about whether it's an achievement. I mean, who said it's an achievement? It's not. It's a decision.
All right. How about this question? Would you consider being single an achievement? You are laughing. the same thing is, sister.
Will you consider getting married an achievement? That's the same question.
It's a question. Just address it the way you say it.
Will you consider being single an achievement?
Yes, that's the question. Would you consider being single an achievement?
It's not achievement. I mean, what kind of question is this? Will you consider being single? What kind of question is
you don't see it coming. But
next question.
We move.
Next question. This is
you did not answer it now. So okay, it's not an achievement, right? Okay, cool.
No, I mean, it's not. I mean, this is not even a question. Let's move to the more serious one.
No, we are being serious. We're getting somewhere. Do you consider a university degree an achievement?
This is something you will use to, decide what you want to do. It might determine your future tomorrow. Marriage is not going to determine your future. And when you come to think about it.
Really? All right.
It's not.
So you consider university degree an achievement?
It's not an achievement. And I will tell you why. It's a choice.
Okay. So it's not an achievement too, right?
Not an achievement.
Okay.
It's a choice.
You are just going for choice, right? Okay. The next one. Do you consider a millionaire a successful man or woman?
Do you consider a millionaire a successful man?
If somebody is a millionaire, either man or woman, do you consider them being a successful person?
No. You don't have to be a millionaire to be successful. No, I disagree. Move to the next question.
All right. Last question is it okay for single men and women to shame married people with the quote, marriage is not an achievement? I don't know why everybody is laughing whenever we get to this one. Even I say we're going to do more of this now. Since you now say, choke me, we are here together.
Uncle Ben, do you know why I'm laughing? Do you know why I'm laughing? I'm still waiting for Sister Ify to tell me our own definition of what is an achievement. In fact, I'm waiting to hear a definition of what is an achievement. Please.
Okay. But make sure you answer this one. Sister Ify, over to you. Is it okay for single men and women to shame married people with marriage is not an achievement comment?
We get to hear this all the time. We get to hear that. I don't think it's even right to shame anybody, whether single or married. Okay. I don't think so. It's okay. I'm not going to shame somebody. No. Okay. Move to the next question.
No, you have not answered this one. You are just trying to shine away from all.
I'm not shying away, because to me, in my head, these questions that you just do whatever makes you. But this one, is it okay for single men or women?
This one is, this one.
Okay. Why marriage is not an achievement? It's a choice. I keep saying it.
That is not the main question. Now, the main question is, you've heard it, haven't you? You've visited platforms, you've listened to people, or maybe clients or anybody. You've heard people on social media. It's part of the rhetorics now. Marriage is not an achievement. Marriage is not an achievement. And then I said, majority of the people that announce marriage is not an achievement, majority of them are single.
I don't know about that. Where did you get that statistics from?
Just go to TikTok, go to anywhere, type marriage is not an achievement. Anybody that you see that is saying marriage is not an achievement, go and check their profile and see
that's where you get your statistics from.
It's very simple now, my sister. This is like an experiment anybody can do. Just go to
TikTok. I'm hearing it from you. I'm not on TikTok.
Okay, go to Facebook, Instagram, even on YouTube. Type marriage is not an achievement. Then whatever comes up, click on it. Listen to the people who are talking, especially the people that say marriage is not an achievement. People are in marriage, they are suffering. People are in marriage, they are this, they are that. Then take their name, go to LinkedIn or Google, go and check their profile.
Again, whatever makes you happy. I'm not going to shame you. I was having a conversation with somebody this evening about polygamy. Whatever makes you happy. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to shame you because, you are married. You are not married. You are married, and I'm not. And I'm not going to shame you for that. It's your choice.
Sister Ify, the focus here is not on that phrase. Marriage is not an achievement. The focus here is it okay for single men and women, either divorce or whatever, to throw that word out every time? Marriage is not an achievement. Is it okay or not?
Okay, it's not okay. Okay, that's what we want to say. It's not okay.
That's where we are going.
Men or women to shame marriage. No, it's not. Let's understand that.
Yeah, because
it's not even a conversation. Come on, go sit down. It's not a conversation. They should all go sit down. All single men and women shaming married people, telling their marriage. Go sit your ASS down.
So, because the reason I said that is this: sometimes when we hear this, it sounds like a slap on married people's face, just like it's a slap to talk down on somebody because they are single mom or single dad. Say, well, my alone, don't mind down a single mom, Jerry. That's just the way it feels. When you tell somebody who sacrificed everything to make sure they stayed married, to make sure the marriage is intact, to make sure that, and I made an example, if you go and rewatch this video, ask anybody who is in marriage. They are sacrificing, even the one that are laughing, even the one that say, oh, God bless, we are having a good marriage, everything. Both men and women are sacrificing like hell.
Exactly. For any marriage to work, it takes two to work on it.
Honestly.
For any marriage, look, when people tell you, let me tell you something. Where people tell you how perfect, even though there is no perfect marriage, but people will come and lie, but they go behind and collect slap every day. For any marriage that you see that is working, that you term successful, I don't know anything about successful. It takes two to tango.
Yep.
Trust me, forget about what you see on social media. This is social media fake life, Facebook fake life. Okay. So if you see two people who you think that you term successful marriage, because I don't know what is successful, you heard of, I don't know if you read Michelle Obama's book, and you can see the reality of what she went through before they, got to where they are today. So the thing about, I'm not jealousing anybody, even if your marriage is all perfect. Look at this woman what's her name? The richest woman in Nigeria. What's her name? The one that went through divorce. I remember when she said she's washing her husband underwear, and people were clapping for her. At the end of the day, what happened?
She still collect.
That's what I'm saying. She still collects. So let's understand this. There is no formula to marriage. There is no formula. What works for Uncle B might not work for me. What works for Uncle Dayo might not work for me. What worked for Ada? If I try to bring what Ada does in her marriage to my marriage, I will see my stuff outside. So you have to learn each other to see what works for you people. What you call abomination in your marriage might be this thing in Uncle B's marriage.
Exactly.
That's why I always tell people, bend down, study your partner, know what he likes, what he wants, learn each other, winkle your eyes, he will winkle his eyes. Both of you will have that understanding. Yeah. It's not easy. You have to disagree, you will agree. What's worse will happen, keep malice for days and keep it going. At the end of the day, that is part of the marriage that you people will need to work on.
Exactly. Thank you, Gary, my sister. Thank you. So finally, yeah.
Uncle Dayo is asking me what an achievement is. Achievement
yes,
is
so I want to know your
definition
of it.
Let me make it so easy for you, Uncle Dayo. Achievement is what you have achieved in life. Okay. If you call it marriage, so be it to you. If you call it education, so be it to you. Whatever you call it, so be it to you. What you call an achievement might not be an achievement to somebody else. Let us start coining this word as if it's a, very big something that, that people just wear it on themselves as if they have done what nobody has ever done. Achievement is whatever you have achieved in life. And if it makes you happy, so be it.
Okay. Right. In other words, achievement is relative. Sister Ify.
Huh?
I said, in other words, achievement is relative.
Whatever you call it, whatever makes you happy, and you term it achievement, so be it.
All right.
That's what I call achievement might not be achievement to you, might not be achievement to Uncle B or Rose or Ada. It might not be achievement to them.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sister Ify. So, Sister Ify, lastly, Sister Ify, I'll put this question to you. I think you heard the question earlier, but you were unable to respond to it. So I'll put it back to you because I want you to answer this question. So, Sister Ify, I don't know how old are your children, but let us go with this hypothetical scenario. You have a 30-year-old daughter, and she's finished school, working, got her own house, everything is fantastic. But you have never seen her with any man. She never brought any man home or anything. Would you have the conversation with her about marriage? Would you ask her, okay, Neka, what's going on? Oh, I don't even know your boyfriend. What are you doing? What's happening? Would you have that conversation with your daughter?
I won't even wait till she gets to 30 before we had that conversation.
Where can I send your NSC?
Do you understand? I won't wait. In this era, growing up during our mother's own is different. In this era, my friend called me and said, can you believe what my daughter told me? I said, what? That she says she doesn't want to get married and she doesn't want kids. I said, yeah? I said, what did you ask her? They had an extensive conversation. Guess what her excuse is? that her mother is always shouting, that because of her younger siblings. Oh, her mother is always this, her mother is always that. I say, well, I do. You see this for where we did now. I said, this one is serious. I said, maybe she will change her mind. Stop shouting now. Maybe that will help her to change her mind. Please, I beg you. But anyway, the marital, I won't even wait till we get to that point. Because if you are very close to your children, trust me, you will know everything about them.
Exactly.
If you are really, really close to them, there is nothing they will not tell you.
Okay, so Sister Ify, thank you for being honest. I just want to ask one more thing so we can at least draw conclusion on this one. Now, if you notice that now, thank you for answering for the girl. Let's move on to boys now. If you notice that your 28, 30-year-old son, this guy is aggressive, he doesn't like to apologize even when he wronged his siblings. He always want to have his way. He's like, no dad, no mom. I think I'm right. You're not listening to me. And you beginning to see like a pattern, like he's impatient, like even between his own sisters, he really can't like settle down and have constructive argument or have conversation. It's always like his way or no way. And this is a 30 years old young man. Would you tell him that it's going to be difficult for a woman to deal with you the way you are going? Would you tell him, or you would just say, well, he's an adult, let him go and figure it out?
Okay, in my field, let me just say this a little bit. When you are having headache, you don't just pop Tylenol and put in your mouth and start, and expect to feel better. You have to ask yourself so many questions. Why am I having headache? Have I slept in 3 days? Or, have you eaten? What is the underlying cause? The question I'm going to be worried about, what is going on with my son? Why is he acting? Why is he behaving the way he's behaving? Okay. Why can't just, start talking to him as if, okay, it's time for you to be in a relationship? Something must have happened. So that conversation is really, really important. If he's acting like that, that's when we start talking about, any sexual abuse or anything happened to him. Is he mentally okay? Why is he getting aggressive? Because when you listen to men, when they come to us in the clinic and you listen to them before you start prescribing, most of the time it's not about medication. It might be a trauma that they went through and they're now manifesting in their life. But it tends to be ignored. Maybe the parents did not see that until they get to their adult age and they start behaving, or those characters or those traumas start manifesting in their lives. Before you catch it, it might be too late. So what I'm trying to say, I need to find out what's the underlying cause. Why is he acting the way he's acting?
Exactly.
Yeah, something must be wrong. That's something I have to talk to my husband about. I'm sure my husband will know. And then if you're very close to your kids, again, they will open up. And most of the time we hear them, they will start talking to you about sexual abuse that mother or father, they're not even aware of.
Yeah.
And some of them will start having resentment.
So,
you know what I mean? So,
I get it.
Yeah.
I got it, my sister. So, in a situation like that, the same 30 years old boy is bringing home a wife, and the problem is there. It's not addressed. And now he brings a lady for marriage.
Oh, we're going to have a conversation now. In fact, I will even tell you to go see a therapist too.
Now I love you times 10.
I was going to have a conversation. Okay, if you continue the way you are continuing, madam, look at. No, we live in the world of reality. Let us address this because, we come here, have fun and talk and laugh it up. But this is reality of everyday people's nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have a conversation. And I'm going to have a conversation with the woman. Do you know who you're dealing with? Are you sure you are okay? He has, and I will be honest and upfront with you. but I will make sure that I get him every help I can, by talking to a therapist, to address that anger issues and irritability and aggressive behavior.
Exactly. Thank you, my sister. Thank you very much. Wow, this has been a very interesting conversation. Imagine, this is 2 hours 44 minutes, and it's so engaging, and I enjoy every aspect of it too. And whereas sometimes we will do 2 hour show, I will be stressed out because then Sister Rose, everybody, bah, boo, they will kick me. Oh, I love this. It's so sweet. Anyway, the Abiola case, like I said, I don't really know how, honestly speaking. And I will go by the advice one of my beautiful sister here gave me this afternoon. I'm just going to wait like 1 week and see what else comes up as a result of this marriage. I really can't judge them. All I can say is that I felt sorry for her. I really, really felt sorry for her that second marriage crashed just like that. And she's a successful woman. And if it is true, if my instincts were right that this guy was actually cheating on her, that is really, really crazy. Now, I'm not trying to beat my own drum, but I'm just the kind of guy that I like to practice what I preach. One thing I don't tolerate from anybody at all, even my friends, are they take and they sing. If I notice you are cheating on your woman, our friendship no fit last, because me, I'm not be my own rubber. I don't buy into that BS. I've seen a lot of aunties, a lot of friends, female friends, bright women, sharp, smart, high achieving women that cheating, their partner cheating literally almost ruined their life. I think women, I don't know what happened to Nahato. Women just can't get beyond or above that cheating experience. Maybe especially for a man that they love. So if it comes out that this guy really cheat on this lady, it's gonna be Nademi. I go drag him. I go really, really drag him. I don't care whatever the lady might be doing, her character, or anything. I always believe that when you find yourself with somebody, no matter the character, you guys can still work it out. But once cheating is involved or you are taking advantage of her, you lost me. So I really don't know what to say about their marriage. All I can say is that for the young folks out there, please do not take every advice as marital pressure. And please try as much as possible to also look for committed relationship as much as you are also advancing in your career. Sometimes waiting till you get to certain age or till you get certain degree, it might be dangerous, it might be too late. That's my final take. Sister Rose, your final take, man, so we can get out of here.
Unfortunately, you didn't bring up the question because it might be a discussion for a longer matter, longer than you would want. But there was something you brought up, and you felt everyone was attacking you. And I agreed with you when you were talking about a 45-year-old man who hasn't married and has kids as a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you to some degree, to a certain point. It's not the issue of the person. If the person is not married and doesn't have kids, I'm not attacking the person. But now, if a man 45, that's why I said you may be pleasantly surprised. 45 years old, no kids, no children. Now you're talking about being married. I get the point. That would be a red flag for me. Why
Yeah,
not? I got to ask. I'm not saying you're a bad person, but I got to look into your character. Were you
exactly.
busy, as the Americans would say, hoeing around? So
Mm-hmm.
after you've been hoeing around, sleeping with this person, sleeping with that, doing every kind of filthy thing, then now you want to settle. And why do you want to settle? And in America, they warn women a lot about this. They call some of those, and not in all cases, but some of them at that point, they're looking for a nurse and a purse,
Mm-hmm.
meaning they see themselves coming to an old age. So
Yeah,
now they're looking for someone who will take care of them in the old age. Not that they're really dedicated to a marriage. Now marriage has become a utility, not an institution of reciprocation where both people do for another. It's especially dangerous in America because if you marry a liability, automatically half of your assets. But
yeah.
even beyond that, A 45-year-old, again, let me reiterate to anyone who is listening, not the attack on the person, but it would be unwise. Oh, no, I have to, why? It's something gives me pause. So that's where I see that what you were saying, the inquiries that you're saying, yes, that's my conclusion. Um, it People have to. These are everything you said. These are legitimate questions that families ask. My parents talked to me. My parents told me that. Let me just say one too. You may not want to say it. People don't want to say it because we don't want to hurt people's feelings. But my
Yeah.
mother used to say, listen, people want you when you're young. They don't
Mm.
want you when you're older. It hurts. Nobody wants to hear that.
At
But
all.
it is an unfortunate, maybe unreasonable expectation, but that's the way the world looks. So will you not say anything to the child because you don't want to hurt their feelings? No, you say something. You
Yeah.
say something. But can it be pressure? Yes, to some degree. But at the same time, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to say this it's what it is. I'm giving you the advice. I'm giving you the blueprint so that you'll be better. You can be equipped. So it's not always pressure. It's just reality.
Yeah. Thank you, Sister Rose. Thank you very, very much. So I'm already editing the part 1 of today's show. So you're gonna have the part 1 up there too. Anybody who wanna come back and watch it? The part 1 is actually about 1 hour 10 minutes. Where is it? Let me show you. So we have part 1. That is the conversation we had earlier. So it's gonna be like about 1 hour 10 minutes when I check. All right. The title is the same. You're just gonna see part 1 so you can watch it, and then you can come back and watch this one, which is the part 2. This is a very, very interesting conversation. In fact, we have created a lot of content too. I really enjoyed this conversation and I appreciate everybody for their contribution. Sister Marriott, God bless you. Sister Yinka, you are an angel, my sister. God bless you, ma. Also, Mr. Dio, thank you so much, Mr. Dio. Dr. Adama, thank you for chiming in. My Sissy, okay, Sissy says she know they go work tomorrow. No wonder she was able to come in here. I was throwing jab, but she always bring it 100%. Thank you, Sissy. Thank you, my ADL family sister all the way from Cameroon. Thank you, Abiri Olanike. God bless you. Mr. Samolu, I appreciate you. And everybody who is part of today's show. So, my sister Ify, God bless you very, very much for always coming in and dropping it 100. Sister Rose, it's good to really have you as my main guest to see as they flow. The only thing is, I forgot to speak New York accent. All right. Rose, I want to appreciate everything you do. I want to thank you for coming to my show. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. Does it sound like New York?
Then you know well. You know well at all. Then it doesn't matter. Then it doesn't matter. The tables are turning. You know, Africa is now the new place now. You'll be hearing people say, "Nah, I like that African accent. I like this." So then it doesn't matter. Those leave those ones.
We're actually speaking pidgin now. A lot of these people, they are speaking pidgin. Anyway, thank you, Sister Rose. Have a very good night. I really
Thank
appreciate you, man. God bless you.
Good night.
Sister, I say, don't even try. Sister Yika, no worry. I will still speak like you. You know, Sister Yika, if you hear her speak, hey, she said get podcast voice like Sister Rosu. Sister Yika, no worry. I'll soon be like the rest of you, get my sisters. I'll begin the flow. My sister Ify, any last word, ma? You really done very, very great for me today, mama. Any last word to Sister Ify?
Last word.
You want to say anything because we are rounding up now, man?
Please do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that you wake up every morning and look at yourself and say, I am happy. At the end of the day, it is your happiness that matters. My opinion doesn't matter. What I say to you or what I say behind you, it doesn't matter. You have to live your life to the fullest. We don't have many more years to live on this world. So what I'm gonna say to you matter to your life. It's not gonna add any money to your bank.
At all.
Do you, and be happy for yourself. Forget about what people are saying. It's just their opinion. When it gets to their turn, that's why I always tell people, you wear the shoes or you wear the shoes and you know where it pinches you. When it gets to my turn, I will decide how I'm gonna wear my own shoe. But for now, do you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, my sister Natu. Sister Natu say, first of all, that is not New York accent. Sister Natu, yo. You know me say, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, now I'm saying. Sister Natu, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Come on, sis, listen to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know that New York Wala and Jare now Wala too much. Like Auntie Yinka said, make I just mind my business, JJ. Let me make I rough my own door asset with everything together like this. When I no go kill me. I remember when I was doing presentation in my class, I tried to speak like Oyimbo. They no hear nada. All the thing I spoke for, they gave me 10 minutes to present. They no hear nothing. Just because I was trying to present like Oyimbo. You know, in this class, I actually researched and I went into the med book. I look up some medication. It didn't just sound. The lecturer tell me say I need to represent to. You know, won't tell me say you know hear with now they talk. But the moment say Ben, you know I can give you a better grade, but I think you might have to present again. I know say you know hear my accent. So next time I might go with my accent. Anyway, thank you everybody. God bless you, my sisters. I love you all. And thank you for making today's show a very fantastic one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye for now.